I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man!
And now, your mama knows.
29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What are you, fucking nuts? You thought...
Subscribe to the most epic channel on YouTube for live streams every week. Daily videos. Subscribe. Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon. Well, guys, we are back, and this is nothing less than epic. Because one of the coolest people that I got a chance to meet in 2023 is none other than Energy Crisis, and a cool name at that. So today, it is my honor to be able to interview none other than Jeremy Lacuna. So guys, you know how it goes. I'm the Cowboy Game Entertainment. I'm back, and it's gonna be nothing less than epic. This is gonna be punching. This is gonna be kicking. It's all right. It's gonna be none of that at all. But anyway, I gotta doll it up, guys, because it's gonna be epic. So with that being said, guys, we're going to learn everything we need to know about this guy, a.k.a. Energy Crisis. And the cool thing is, he gave me the authority to tell you that you guys can ask him any question that you want. So, as I interview him, you guys can have some questions for him as well. So this is going to be really cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. I used to interview a lot of people. Man, if you go on the channel, I got so many interviews, And it's always a lot of fun just getting to know somebody on a deeper personal level, finding out, backstories. And guys, it's going to be cool. So just get ready because we're going to have an epic time. So with that being said, if you're new to the channel, just go to the home page or the home tab, scroll down. You'll see all the different stuff from vlogging, the podcast, the gaming, guys, it's all on there. My whole life has been on YouTube since 2011. Every birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, my honeymoon in Mexico, and my wife and I were swimming with sharks. It's on the channel. Every time I buy something, I review it. Every time I go to the movies, I review it. So guys, you came to the right place because there's nothing less than high octane, entertainment. So with that being said, I think I'm ready. So I'm going to grab a chair. Wait, hold on. I didn't feed the fish yet, so let's do that. Guys, the fish need love, okay? So whoever out there is hating on fish, shame on you. You know what's stupid? Is these fish shouldn't even be mine. My daughter moved out and left her fish, and now I got stuck with them. I should charge her for every time I got to buy fish food. Anyway, I'm going to grab a chair. I hope you guys grab a chair. And we're going to get into this interview. And again, guys, it's going to be epic. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of laughs, jokes, you name it. I could tell we're just going to have a ball of a time. So let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm sweating in here, man. I got this, turn my heater up. You guys see my review of the top 4 space heaters I reviewed. Yeah. Anyway, this thing is making me sweat. All right, so let's see who was in the building. My man Rain is in the building. He said, yo, let's give Rain one of these. Let's go. Dark Kermit is in the building. 503 Gaming is in the building. Let's go. All right. Hey, 5, man, I would love to interview you one day, man. He said, hit that like button. Oh, and look who it is. Guys, this is cool. Some of the people from We Wrestle Wednesdays is showing up and showing out. Oh, you know what's bad? I didn't even put it in that chat. Whoops. Hold on, guys. Give me a moment. I should have put it in the We Wrestling Wednesday chat and also the Mortal Kombat chat. Because I know Platinum Godfather was saying he wouldn't mind being interviewed. All right, We Wrestle Wednesday and Get Over Here Thursdays, which I no longer do. All right, there we go. All right, now, you know what? All right, cool. All right, with that being said, let's go down the line. Oh, ISO Motion Gaming is in the building, guys, and I got to interview ISO as well, and that was nothing less than epic. Yeah, 503, we got to set it up. All right, now, guys, coming in is none other than this guy. He's mysterious. No one knows that much about him. All we hear is that he used to be a wrestler and he has all this passion when he speaks. He's a cool, calm, collective at the same time. He's one part of the We Wrestle Wednesday Wrestling League on Wednesdays on this channel. My man. And I will be meeting him in person when I move to Florida because he lives in Mississippi and it won't be that far away. So we're going to bring in none other than Energy Crisis, aka Jeremy Lacuna, or should it be Jeremy Lacuna, aka Energy Crisis? But anyway, we're gonna bring in Energy. Let's go. What's up, man?
Hello, Internet.
The internet
Hey,
has summoned you, my friend.
Oh, man. And you got the name right.
Listen, you told me, and I made sure, I worked on it. So, I put a lot of hard hours into making sure it wasn't, what did I call you before? See, now I got Lacuna.
You were calling me Lacana or something like that.
All right, Lacana.
No, that's Lacuna.
So, dude, man, first things first, how are you doing today, man? How's your day?
Pretty good. Pretty good. A little sore, but good.
Did you have anything good to eat today?
Today, what did we eat? I don't think I've eaten today. No, some cookies.
Fair enough. I
Oh, we did have some ranch chicken and some king cake earlier. I
Okay.
finished off that king cake I was telling you about the other day.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, sounds good, man. Can't remember what I ate either. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for my lunch break.
Hmm.
There you go. And
Can't
my
beat the
first break of the
classics.
day, I always get a cup of tea.
Yeah, I got stuck on these ice drinks.
Okay,
They got me
fair
off the
enough.
sodas. So, yeah.
So,
Oh, my wife got the baby.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, got the baby last night.
So let's start over, right? Let's before we dive into your backstory, let's get into our backstory, you and I. So
Mhm.
we met, correct me if I'm wrong, because I made a video about Mortal Kombat 1,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, it was the video you did where we were speculating on that little leak on the stream where they said Scorpion's not Hanzo Hasashi.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop. And yeah, so
So
it's cool. You were
that's when
just
we started.
commenting
Yeah,
and
we
me,
started throwing off a bunch of random like
right.
what ifs at each other, which is one of my favorite things to do as far as video games, wrestling storylines, you name it. I love just sitting down. And my wife and we talk all the time about, hey, what if I go this direction with it, or what
Hmm.
if this character comes in and interferes, or
And you know what's funny? That's what my wife and I like to do too. And
Mhm.
also, I got to give you credit because you and I was going in a little tangent one day. You was trying to tell me Ivar he could have a solo run. I'm like, dude, that
Mhm.
would make no sense. What are you talking about? And now he has
But
a
look
solo
at him,
run. Up to
look
last
at
night,
him.
he won his match.
Finally,
So yeah,
yeah, finally giving him some wins.
no,
Who did he
definitely.
go over last? He went over on Otis last night, didn't he? Yeah.
So that was cool. But so yeah, so cool. So you and I met. I put out a video. We was commenting back and forth, and then hold on. So how did it go from there? I guess what did you watch a
Well,
live or something like how?
from there, you told me you were doing podcasts 4 nights a week, so I started watching those, here and there.
Oh, I did one about
And
Mortal Kombat.
yep, you did the
Right.
one about Mortal Kombat, and then I found out about your Let's Get Random Tuesdays,
Hmm.
and some really interesting topics there. I was like, hey, these discussions are right up my alley.
Hmm.
So I jumped in on a couple of those. Of course, we wrestle Wednesdays. I was watching them until I finally got the game for myself and jumped in with you and been
So
banging
hold
with
up, my
y'all every week.
memory. Let me back up. Actually, didn't you join the Mortal Kombat stream?
I think one of them, yeah,
Yeah, you jumped on like in the one where I was just like talking about Mortal Kombat in general and
Mhm.
all of that. Yeah, you
Yeah,
jumped
because
on
we were
there.
talking about the potential that maybe Hanzo was going to come in as Noob Saibot or something
Right.
crazy, and you were like, "Wow, that's an interesting theory." So we got on this. Yeah,
Right, you had that really
yeah,
cool, yeah, that really cool and I actually mentioned it in one of my
mhm.
videos.
Yeah. So we got to talking about that, and among other things, I can't remember who all was on that stream either. I think it was a pretty big panel that day, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
five or
I'm trying
six
to
of us.
remember who else, but it was either way, I just wanted to remember you and and
Mhm.
how we met up. And it just shows that, man, listen, the internet can't be defeated, man. It's
Mhm.
good or bad. It could definitely spawn off bad stuff, but it can spawn off good stuff because me personally, I'm very social and my social time is just doing this, turning on the camera, laughing, joking with everybody. So I think it's definitely a cool thing. So I just want to recite and just remember how you and I met to start this
Yeah.
thing off. Let me look at the comments. So, guys, Jeremy said you can ask him any questions. So he's open for questions. So do me a favor though, if you guys ask a question, put the Q, like put a capital Q or something, so my eyes could glance over and catch it as I'm going through the chat. But my guy Josh is in the building. So big up Jeremy. Lacuna. I was about to do it. I was about to do it because
Mhm.
Lacuna can't wait to hear about the journey and behind the scenes stories. Cowboy, you should both wrestle against each other in person. Well,
That'd be fun.
unfortunately, I don't have any wrestling experience, so I don't think that'll be a
So
fair match.
we'll train you. We'll train
Yeah,
you.
we could be tag team partners.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll work.
look, Turtle said
Yeah, I
energy
see.
sucks.
Uh-huh. He's just mad because I got 3 titles to defend tomorrow.
Oh man, he said, "There's the bearded man." Oh man, you know what's funny? I got all these pictures of you clean shaved, right? Of back in the day. So I had
Yeah,
no
way back in the
clue
day.
what I had no clue what you were gonna what you was gonna look like today. Uh Hot Pocket said, "Who got the baby?"
Yeah.
He said, "Yo, what up,
Yeah, my
Cowboy
wife.
Hitbox? What's up,
My wife
Hitbox?
got
What's
the
up?"
baby, and I see she snuck in the chat too.
So Hitbox, you know what's funny? Me and Energy was talking, and I told him how I asked him, I said, "Bro, what kind of colors would you want?" And I said, "So I do different colors." And I said, for Rose, because he loves purple, I did purple. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna have to steal that purple." So if you look at the thumbnail, Energy's thing is purple. So I thought that was pretty funny. Huntress, he cut
That's my
me.
wife.
All right, I had a feeling. Cut me to pieces with
I
the
did it on accident though. It wasn't on purpose. Yeah.
All right, let me see. Go figure. LOL. I already knew he would have that baby being found somewhere. Oh wait. What's the baby?
All right. So for anybody that's not familiar with a king cake, it's a tradition right around Mardi Gras. Um, they it's kind of like somebody took cinnamon rolls and
Okay.
made a cake out of it with like icing and sprinkles and all kinds of cool shit. And some of them got jelly filling, cream cheese, whatever. They got all kinds of flavors. But the king cake itself, you're supposed to buy one for the party. And when you bring it to the party, somewhere in that cake is a little plastic baby. And if you get the baby, you got to buy the next cake.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what
Yeah.
you was telling me the other day. All right.
Yeah, the baby's supposed to bring luck and prosperity. So
So wait,
yeah,
is
so
it one
because
in
of
every cake?
every king cake. Yep.
Okay. So hold on. So as we dive into you, let's take a look and see what's kin cake. So it's KIN cake, right?
KING, like a king. Yep.
Oh, king cake. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
All right. So this would be king cake.
FCAT knows all about king cake.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah, they are delicious.
Fair enough. Okay, and we have a first question for you. So Obi said, question, do you play Tekken as well? If so, are you getting Tekken 8? And if so, who's your main character?
I do like Tekken. I haven't played since Tekken Tag 2.
Okay, it's not that far.
I love the first Tekken Tag.
Yes.
I kind of bounce around a little bit. I main Warang. I like playing with Eddie Gordo. Shy Yao was a really fun one.
Ooh.
And in Tag 2, there was a belly dancer chick. Her name started with a Z. I can't remember exactly what her name was, but she was, yeah. I like characters that move like really weird, unorthodox. Yeah, it's kind of hard to nail their movement style down. So yeah, the belly dancer was really fun to play.
So another question. Murder said, "How long have you been with WWE 2K?"
And so, see, it's the funny thing. Nobody in the We Wrestle Wednesday believes me on this. Like the first week that I jumped in, I literally bought the game the Thursday after a We Wrestle Wednesday, and I played it for the whole week. And I jumped in on y'all stream, and that was like the first 2K I've played since like Raw versus SmackDown versus ECW.
Cool, man. That's cool.
It's been forever since I played those games.
Yeah.
So I basically jumped right in, and
that's pretty
now
cool.
we banging every week.
Hold up, Bio said, "I took Energy under my wing when he started."
Yeah, he did.
Legacy.
Yeah, we held them tag belts for a good little minute there.
He said it's weird seeing the old pics used to the beard. LOL. Yeah, those pics are dope though, man. He said, "Yeah, that."
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, Rain got a question. How did you and Hunter meet? Ooh.
Hunter,
okay, all right, hold on. Wait. So I do have a section for relationships, and
Are we talking about Huntress Artemis?
That's what he's saying. So the question is, do we dive into that now? But I want to come back to that. So hold on. Let me do this. Since we met because of the video game, let's just back up a little bit. We're gonna get to that.
We'll get there.
So Energy, take me through your gaming history. So first things first, do you mind telling us how old you are?
I'm 41.
All right, so 41. So you would have played Atari, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yep, I
so
remember the ET game.
okay, thank you. So take me
Yep.
through your gaming history. Back us up.
I've been gaming since I was little bitty. Um, my mom bought an Atari for herself when when I was a baby, and I would jump on the joysticks and just move around. I remember the maze game. I remember asteroids. I remember Centipede, Pac-Man. Um, I remember whenever the Nintendo first came out, we traded the Atari in for a Nintendo, and yeah, we went from there.
Wow. So okay, wait. So come on, you're skipping now. You're skipping. So you got a PlayStation 5.
Hmm.
What
I've
when you
owned every generation of PlayStation.
okay, so I was gonna get to that. So
Yeah.
were you more of a Nintendo guy or a Sega guy?
Um, we owned a Nintendo, and I really wanted an N64 because to me, No Mercy is still one of the best wrestling games ever
No,
created.
no, no. It's the best wrestling game.
But
Let's just put
but
that in.
well, you got Fire Pro, and you got a couple
Ah,
others
that is
that are
true.
up there.
That
But
is true.
yes, No Mercy is up there in that Mount Rushmore of wrestling games. Um, but we ended up not getting an N64. We did get a Sega Genesis because my brothers and I really wanted Mortal Kombat, and Nintendo had the no blood. Of course, Sega had the blood code you could put in, and so
So
yeah, we went with
Sega just
Sega.
had love. Period.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Okay,
we figured if we were going to get Mortal Kombat, we wanted the full experience. We wanted
mm,
the blood, the gore.
so that's cool. You went into a whole ecosystem because of one game, and that's how we
Hmm.
met because of that
Yeah.
game. That's pretty cool. So then after you dabbled into Sega, so how far did Sega take you? Like, did you get a Saturn? Did you get a Dreamcast? Like,
No,
what happened with that?
the Genesis was the only system that we had Sega wise. We didn't get a Saturn. We didn't get a Dreamcast. We did end up with a PlayStation.
Okay.
Um, and my brother kept breaking the little doodad that holds the CD. And I can't tell you how many times we had to replace that damn thing because he'd crack it in half.
Hmm.
But yeah, PS2 came out. By that time, I was out on my own.
Okay.
You know,
Damn.
yeah.
And
Matter of
then
fact,
you just
yeah.
what? And then you just stayed with a PlayStation?
I stayed with PlayStation mainly because I liked their first party games.
Gotcha.
They at the time they had exclusives to Metal Gear Solid. They had exclusives to Final Fantasy. They had and of course the God of Wars, the Uncharted's,
Right.
some of my favorite games. They're all PlayStation games.
Did you ever own a Xbox?
I never owned one, but when I was in the Air Force, we did have LAN parties where we would have cables running all up and down the barracks, and we would have 16-player Halo parties. So, yeah, those were pretty fun, but I never owned any Xbox systems myself.
Okay, so that pretty much took you to where you are today.
Yeah.
When did you get your PlayStation 5? Did you get it in the beginning? Like when?
We it took like 2 or 3 years to get one because all the scalpers were hoarding them, and we had a pretty tough time getting them. But when we finally did, that I was so mad that I didn't even play it for like 8 months. I just
Oh wow.
it just sat there on my shelf collecting dust, and I finally said, you know what, I've got the damn thing. I really want to play it. And what was the first game I played on it?
That's why I want to know.
I don't remember if the first game I played was Cyberpunk
Mhm.
or yeah, I think it was Cyberpunk.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right, let me get back to the chat. So Hot Pocket said he is a Law fan. That's dope.
Yeah, Law's a good
Obi said,
character.
"Nah, Zayu is my main for real." I was gonna mention that when you mentioned her. He said, "I'm his true significant other." That's what Hot Pocket said. Hunter said, "No, let you have the time with him."
Wow.
Dorothy said, "Facts, no mercy in WrestleMania 2000." Ooh, WrestleMania 2000 was fire.
Mhm.
Bio said, "We got some boomers here. Damn, I'm just kidding. LOL." And 503 said, "Bro, you leave us old dudes alone. Just kidding. All love."
Yeah, how do you think I was able to pick up on 2K so quick?
Yeah,
Man,
right.
I got experience, man. That's what we
Herbert
do.
said, "Have my PS5 since last 2022 Christmas, and didn't touch it till Christmas 2023 just for the VR." Yeah, he's the
Mhm.
VR king. Bio said, "When I got my PS5, the first game I had to play was Uncharted One. Had to
Mm.
play that and the others. Great games. Yeah, that's cool." He said, "I'm
Man,
not
the
doing
Uncharted
that."
series was so
Yeah, it really was, man. It really was. And you know what's funny? I always got the PlayStation like in the very beginning or day one, but I
good.
was
Hmm.
into cloud gaming, so I was into Stadia. So I got my PlayStation 2 years later, just because I didn't have any interest because I was into something else. And so when finally I couldn't get the games I wanted over there, so I said, well, I'm just gonna get a PlayStation. So it was cool getting a PlayStation because I was able to get pretty much any game that I kind of wanted. Coming from the Stadia, which was cloud gaming, which was a platform that just like you got lucky if the game you wanted came to their platform because it was new.
Hmm.
And then after a while, just like I can't do this no more. And I sunk over 2 years of my life into that platform, hoping it would grow. And then I got out of it, and then
And then it
short,
just,
shortly after
yeah,
they announced that they was gonna,
it
close
just
it.
fizzled
Maybe
out.
yeah, maybe 6 months later. But all right, so let's get into let's circle back then, man. So you could dive into whatever you want, but I want to ask you about relationships. So I know you got kids, and
Hmm.
which is cool. And you have a what, a older daughter, or
I have, well, my ex-wife and I, we had 3 kids together, a girl
okay,
and 2 boys. Um, my daughter lives in Alaska right now. The boys are in New York.
okay,
My current wife and I, well, we have two little girls, but one of them passed away.
okay.
Um,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, that was a rough one. She died on my birthday back in 2016. So, birthdays around here are pretty rough. It's
Gotcha,
usually an all or nothing thing. Either I lock myself away and just drop off the grid, or we
hmm
throw a party and invite everybody over. So,
gotcha. So it's really all or nothing.
yeah,
Yeah, I got you. When's your birthday, man?
July 12th.
July 12th. Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool. Mine's April 13th. So we got,
Hmm.
you know,
Okay,
um,
right there.
and so you was married before. So you got married. So
Hmm.
that's deep, man. So how long were you married?
Which time?
And listen, so this is my third marriage. So
Yeah, mine too.
okay,
The
got
first one lasted maybe a little over a year.
okay,
Uh, it we weren't right for each other at all. Um, the second one, we got married in 2004,
okay,
2005. We got married in 2005, and she left in '07, '08, around that area.
okay,
And my wife now, I've been married to her for, matter of fact, the day after Christmas made 10 years we've been married.
bro. Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at that. Right. So now, if we can answer the question that was asked in the chat. So how do you guys meet?
um, we actually worked together at a little gas station right up the road from my house,
Mhm.
and she ended up being the one night stand that never left. Yeah, we hit it off. Um, yeah, she went to leave and go to work one day, and I said, "You're coming back tonight, right?" And she was like, "If you want me to," and we've been together ever since.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. That's cool. Now, who was were
I
you
had to
guys on
look
the
over.
same
I didn't know
level?
she was going to get mad at me for telling that story.
No, but look, were you guys on the same level, or was somebody's boss?
No, we were on the same level.
Okay, so it wasn't no you couldn't get in trouble.
Mm-mm, no, none of that. Yeah, I think there was one manager at that store, and all the rest of us were on the same level. So,
Got you. Okay, that's pretty cool, man. Wow, that is cool. So it's cool because you went through a lot, right, in
mhm.
relationships, and
Oh yeah,
and so let me get this straight. So you had kids with your
my second wife.
Your second wife. Okay, got you. All
Mhm.
right. Yeah, so same thing with me. I had kids with my first wife, then my second wife was my short marriage. and then we was married for less than 2 years. But that's interesting, man. That's cool. Well, I'm glad to see people happy. I'm glad to see where you are. Just over the weekend when we talked on the phone, so you had it on speakerphone, I had it on speakerphone. So your wife was in the background, my wife was in the background, and it was just cool.
Yep.
And I could just tell the chemistry you guys had was really cool, man. So I'm happy.
Yeah, that was when. Yeah, that was right before y'all went and ate African food for the first
Yes,
time.
yeah.
Man,
He
them
was like,
portion sizes were insane.
dude, oh my god, it was like so
Y'all had
much.
like 4 meals there.
Yeah, I'm like, man, like, I think presentation is cool too. So if the tilapia was a little like, okay, that's a little strange because
Yeah, I looked at my wife and I was like, oh, they don't skin it or nothing. They just
yeah,
grill it up and
yeah,
serve it.
brought it out. It was cool though. But yeah, man, that's cool. So as far as the relationships, man, I think that's really cool. Like I said, man, I'm definitely can't wait to move to Florida. I can't wait to meet you. I know we're gonna have a bunch of fun. So let's get into food, man. So you've already
Man,
shared. Let's pull it up for people who missed it. The kin cake,
yeah.
king cake. And so let's take a look at this a little bit more. So hold on, let's see.
Yeah, I live right down the road from New Orleans, so there's so much flavor in this part of the country. It's
I dude, I oh man, like I told you, I had a uh, really amazing meal when I
see,
went.
there's the baby, right there in the middle of it. There's one of them little plastic babies in every king cake.
So okay, I see it. So in the middle, it's a plastic
Yeah,
baby.
well, they'll actually hide it in the cake somewhere.
Okay, and so if you find it, then you're supposed to buy the very next one.
Yeah, because that baby is supposed to bring luck and prosperity. So since you have all that money coming to you, next time a party comes around, you can afford to buy the king cake.
That's cool. Well, it'll be cool if that definitely happened.
Yeah, right.
Like, hold on, give me that. Make sure I definitely have that money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold up. Let's see what the chat is talking about. Let me see. All right, he said, Mr. Stop Lying, you still ain't got a PS5. Got my PS5 Christmas 2022, as Rain said. Urban said, you literally responded to my message recently in the PS5 We Wrestle Wednesday group. Let me see. He said, hey, mister, this is the internet. I got to make that up. Yeah, hey, man, that's how the internet goes, man. You just start a crazy rumor and you just run with it, Oh, Dodge Man's in the business. Say, hey, Crisis, when are we going to do some rematches in MK1? Okay.
Man, Dodge Man. Jesus Christ. Man.
Dodge Man is relentless.
I'm telling you. It's like you can't even get a move off with that, man.
Yeah, that food portion was crazy. Let me see. And guys, remember, if you're just coming in, you can ask questions. Energy is open to any questions, so good stuff. Energy, your salmon patties are good. Oh, so you make
that's my nephew. Yeah, there's these salmon fritters that we make from time to time. They're really good.
Oh, so you made your own fritters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, normally, we'll fry them up and serve them with some. A lot of times we'll serve them with macaroni.
So what is your favorite? What's your favorite food that you could think of that I probably never heard of? Me being from the North Jersey.
See, that's the thing. A lot of the foods I like you probably have heard of. Because I eat a lot of Italian food. I eat a lot of pastas. We like sushi. We go to the hibachi grill pretty often. Red beans and rice. That's always you want me to love you forever. Yeah, cook a good pot of red beans and rice.
Okay.
Crawfish.
So I'm
if you've
weird
never
with
been
the
to a
taste
crawfish boil.
Never did that. Yeah, I'm weird with my tastes. So that's why I would like when I was younger, I would mix. Well, I still do it, but I would like cut my food up and mix it up. My grandma used to be like, "Why you eat like a kid?" And for me, because I don't like the taste of meat that much, so I like stuff to be really seasoned. So for me, masking the taste is me, mixing stuff up. So like I told you, when I went to that Cajun place, man, that was pretty good because, like he said, like Hot Pocket said, true gumbo. Yeah, so you had like the taste of everything,
Yep.
So I like that stuff like that. And I don't think Platinum is in here, Dodge Man. But
At least not yet.
yeah,
I haven't seen him pop up.
yeah. All right, cool, man. So definitely. So let me ask you this: when you go out to eat, do you guys often get dessert, or are you more of the entree and then you're out? Like,
It depends on how we're feeling. A lot of times, if we're full, we'll just go ahead and grab a to-go box and
yeah,
bounce. If we're still hungry, then yeah, let's get some dessert.
yeah.
Of course, anytime we go to a buffet, yeah, you got to get dessert.
Mm. Yeah, you know what's crazy? As much as we go out to eat, I even said to my wife, she was able to get out early today to come home. And I was like, you better grab food on the way home because it's supposed to be really bad here, raining and flooding, right? And
Yeah,
so
we caught it
it
last
don't
night.
really flood where I'm at. But so she was like, but it's too early. I'm like, so what we do is one day I'll get food, the next day she'll get food. Since the kids are like older, like we kind of eat out almost every day.
Hmm.
So but we rarely get dessert because usually we'll get full. Like we're more, I guess we're probably more appetizer people than
Hmm.
dessert. Although we need to start just like sometimes we're trying not to eat too much so we can have
You,
a dessert, you know?
there are some times where we will go to a restaurant and it's like the most appetizing thing we see on the menu is one of the appetizers. So we'll basically make a meal out of those. Yeah, I get it.
He said Cowboy not liking the taste of meat. Pause. This guy, man. So that rain was terrible last night.
Yeah,
Uh,
the storm that's heading your way, it came through here last night.
okay,
So
got you.
yeah,
All right,
a lot of
energy,
heavy
man.
winds.
What I
And my
want to
wife
get
wanted me,
into.
before we get too far off of it, my wife wanted me to tell you the story of how I proposed to her. At the time
Oh, come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
yeah, we were both working at Taco Bell, and our nephews, Rain was one of them. They were over at, we bought a taco 12 pack for them. She got a
Mhm.
quesadilla. We're just sitting around the table eating, joking, laughing around. And I threw a sauce packet at her, one of the Taco Bell sauces that said, "Will you marry me?" And she threw it back at me and said, "Ask me again when you're serious." I said, "Who the hell said I wasn't serious?" And she just like her face sunk, like, "Oh my god." So yeah, that was one of
Now, when you started going into the story, so some people in chat will probably remember this. I was like, wait. So this guy named Main Games, right? He doesn't come around that much anymore, but he has a channel, Main World. He proposed to his wife with the Taco Bell packet that says, "Will you marry me?" He got on one knee and handed it to her. That's crazy, dude.
yeah.
That first of all, that's ballsy.
It caught
Um,
her off guard for sure.
Now let me ask you this. I don't want to start problems in the household, but
uh,
when she threw it back and say, "Next time, ask me if you're serious." When you first threw it, was you serious, or did you take the opportunity to be like, when she threw it back, you was like, "You know what? Let's do it."
it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I had it in my hand and I was like, should I or shouldn't I? And yeah, I said, what could it hurt? Let's see where this goes.
Right.
Yeah,
Dude, that is cool, man. That is cool, man.
because we had been together for a while at that point, and I
Okay.
was you know I was bouncing the idea in my head for a little bit.
Okay.
She's a good woman, so I was like, you know what,
So she made a good man out of you.
somewhat.
So wait, how long did you guys wait before you got married?
Uh, Shoot, I don't remember when it was that. I don't remember when it was that I gave it to her, but I do remember that year, the day after Christmas, we had already applied for the marriage license, and we
Okay.
were down at the courthouse, and we were like, you know what? Let's go across the street and get
Do it.
married. Yeah,
That's
we
cool.
said our I do's, and we went to work that night.
That's cool, man. Did you guys end up having an official honeymoon or no?
We honeymooned at Comic Con. Yeah,
Nice.
we got to meet Stan Lee and Norman Reedus and a few
Dang.
others.
Yeah, I never went to Comic Con.
She just reminded me the weekend before Halloween that I proposed to her, and we got married the day after Christmas.
That's cool, man. That,
Yeah, and then honeymoon Comic Con right there the following February.
mhm.
So
That's
some
pretty cool.
fun times there.
Darth Kermit's in the building. Said, "Do you get dessert? Depends. How much is the main course and how hungry?" Yeah, I mean that's a
Yeah,
yeah.
that part. Yeah, how much money have we spent?
Oh, Rain said some of these stories he haven't heard.
Yeah, he was pretty young when it all.
Let me see. He said going back in time to eat Taco Bell and watch Beavis and Butthead with Energy
Oh
Crisis.
man, Beavis and Butthead, man, great show.
Man, 9 months at that point. Okay. Let me see. So what's funny is what my wife and I'm the numbers guy. Like she'll ask me like when did we whatever, and I always got the numbers in my brain of this and that.
Yeah, she's got the dates for. Yeah, it's funny too. She'll remember the birthdays for everybody in the family, like 70 some odd birthdays. She can rattle off like that. But she always forgets our anniversary.
That's funny. All right, energy. I think it's that time, man. I think it's time for us to get to what I'm curious about. Now, the other day you said there was a question. I wrote it down as you said it. And so you might not think I was going to bring this up, but you said there was a question that you was thinking of, right? And you was pondering on. And so I was like, ooh, I want to ask him that. And this had nothing to do with you and me. You were just personally saying there was a question you had to yourself. So I was like, oh, I'm going to take the opportunity to ask you this question live because you didn't give me an answer. You were just kind of talking about it in conversation. So let's get into wrestling. So I want to know, man, because this is cool that you actually got to wrestle. You got to meet a bunch of people. But I want to open up the wrestling segment. And you know what? Let's do. Some people on the channel, you guys are familiar with this. Let's do an official topic switch.
Topic switch.
All right, guys, so we had to do a topic switch because this is going to be epic because Jeremy used to be a wrestler. And guys, if you can't tell, I am a big wrestling fan. Every single week we do We Wrestle Wednesdays. We get together, we play WWE 2K 2023. And guys, I'm excited because just to hear some stories about him and wrestling and his thoughts. I already got to pick his brain before when we did a wrestling podcast, but guys, let's get in there. Let's find out what Energy got to say about wrestling and his journey and where it led him. So I'm coming at you, Jeremy, because I want to know some inside details and I want to know some things. So with that being said, let's get them back on the screen. Throw the belts to the side because it's about to go down. And dare I say, it's gonna be epic. All right,
Get rid of them belts.
Dude, the other day you were talking and you were like, something made me think, where would you be if you kept wrestling? So I want you to travel down that process, that thought, because you were getting deep into it. You were mentioning Paul London the other day. We were talking, and you were mentioning how you probably could have spawned into some stuff with Bray Wyatt. So, dude, answer the question.
Yeah. So
really, really think about it. Where do you honestly think you could have ended up if you didn't stop wrestling?
So during that conversation, I know you'll remember, I was saying, I never really thought about it too much. Like I get the question every now and then, and it's something that you kind of brush off or whatever. But I really didn't start thinking about it heavy until we heard the news that Bray Wyatt had died. And sadly, when I quit wrestling, I quit watching it for a while. But there were times where I would check in just to see, the people that I met and the people that I actually interacted with, just to check in on where they were and to basically catch up a little bit, just to make sure that, my guys were still doing all right, that they were in a good place. But Bray Wyatt was one of those people that every time I checked in on somebody else, he always had something interesting that would catch my attention. So I was like, this is a really interesting person. And after he died, I started looking into the backstory, and I found out that he actually, before he went to NXT, he was with Florida Championship Wrestling. Well, another group that was in Florida Championship Wrestling was Jonathan and Joshua Fatu, which a lot of people watching would know as the Usos today. those two were basically the star attraction of a promotion I was working with in Pensacola for a little while. Sika, the Wild Samoan, he was the one that ran the promotion, and Rikishi's twin boys were the tag team champs there at the time. They were the Samoan SWAT team. Um, they were feuding with a buddy of mine, Damien, and he was actually tag teaming with Paul Bearer's son, DJ Pringle.
Oh, wow.
And I ran with that promotion for a little bit. You know, I talked to Sika a couple of times. Got into some pretty good conversations with him. He was a really, really awesome person. I still got Rikishi's business card over on my shelf. Just he handed it out in the little road tour that we did. A little 3-day excursion to draw some butts and some seats, and we had a lot of fun on that little road trip. So I mean, thinking really deep into it, I probably, if I wouldn't have got out when I did, probably would have given Rikishi a call, seeing if there was a spot for me in Florida Championship Wrestling, because it's not that far from where I live. And I probably would have tried to get in over there. There is a world where I'd have been backstage just bouncing ideas back and forth with Bray, because I know myself, I know what interests me, and just the ideas that he had. I think it would have been really cool to just sit backstage and just see what works, you know. I mean, we've had plenty of conversations just offline, you know, texting back and forth, talking back and forth, where, again, we'll speculate like what storyline Mortal Kombat's going to go with, or what character is going to be brought into like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or, you know, what wrestlers are going to show up at the Royal Rumble, you know. So I mean, that's the kind of things that I could sit and talk about for hours. And I do think that if I would have ever been lucky enough to meet Bray Wyatt, I would have had at least a couple of good conversations with him.
It sounds like, if anything, you definitely would have made it to NXT.
Well, you know, there is a world. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm that great. My matches were halfway decent, and I made it a point every time I was in the ring. My goal was to make sure that the people in the crowd got their money's worth. You know, give them something to remember, give them a reason to come back next week or next month.
So here, that is pretty cool, man. It just it makes you think. Like, imagine if you had a conversation with Bray Wyatt and he was just listening to you, and, you know, ideas just sound kind of crazy and wild, and he was just like, you know, what if, you know, you know what I'm saying? You just like, I mean, I don't want to like go crazy, but sky's the limit.
And there are questions in my head. You know, would a smaller guy have worked in the Wyatt family? You know, could I have like perched on top of Harper's shoulder like a freaking demented little parrot? You know, done something crazy with that. You know, I mean, it could have gone in so many different directions, like wrestling tends to do. But just getting the chance to work with some of the people that cross paths with Bray, it would have been really fun, you know.
That would have been.
Or even the chance to work with Bray himself down in Florida, that would have been a pretty awesome experience, you know.
Well, here's what's cool. So I kind of want to ask you about the different people you met. So let's kind of go into this, because Hot Pocket had a good question. He said, who's your favorite wrestler that you met in person and why? That's a really good one.
So there's a whole host of people that I've met backstage. Some of them is just like in passing. We've wrestled the same shows together. Some of them I've gotten to have a little bit more time with. Like Robert Gibson from the Rock and Roll Express. I learned a lot from him while I was in Pensacola. He was wrestling with a promotion called Ultimate Wrestling. And just listening to him talk, you pick up on a lot of things. And like I said, it was always really interesting to hear what he had to say. And after Ultimate Wrestling after the shows would wrap up, we would usually go to his bar and hang out, you know, have a few drinks, play some pool. But one of my favorite wrestlers ever was back in the Attitude area. If you remember Gangrel,
Yes.
he always had the coolest entrance. The
That music,
music,
man.
the coming up through the fire, spitting blood.
Yeah. The
Nobody
groove.
has done a better vampire gimmick in ever. And there's been some good ones, Kevin Thorne, Vampiro come to mind,
Mhm.
but nobody can hold a candle to Gangrel in my book.
I agree.
And while I was working with Sika's promotion, there was during that road trip that I was talking about, I was lucky enough to the last day of the trip, we got to the arena early. We set up the ring, and Rikishi came in. He cooked everybody like hamburgers and hot dogs, and he brought this big barbecue in, and he just cooked for everybody. Basically, told everybody thank you for being here because it's the overboys, the ones that have been on TV. They're the ones that draw the crowds because of the name recognition. But it's those younger guys on the indie scene that put in the hard work and they make the show happen. So he wanted to thank us for helping seek out and helping put the word out. And of course, the Usos are benefiting heavily from it. That was where they got their start, was on the indie scene, and to help his boys out, I know he really appreciated it. So he cooked for us, and then after I got done eating, I was always told that if somebody who's been on TV is talking, listen to them because you'll pick up a lot of really good things. So I look in the ring, and Rikishi's cousin Black Pearl, Gangrel, and Jonathan Fatu, who Jimmy Uso, they're all three in the ring, just kind of working over some stuff and just kind of talking and kind of bouncing ideas off. So I jumped up on the ring like a tag team partner, and I'm sitting there just listening and taking it all in. Well, Gangrel had an idea. He wanted to teach Jimmy uh, a bunch of stuff he had learned in Europe that he didn't use because it just didn't mesh with his in ring style. But it's good stuff to know in case you ever wrestle against a European wrestler.
Mhm.
So I'm sitting there taking it in, and he had Jimmy get him in a headlock, and he pushed him away. He was like, I can't see what I'm doing." He looks over, he sees me on the apron, and he tells me to get in the ring. So he has me lock up with Jimmy, and the next 3 hours we were just working. This is four of us just working on fundamentals, on just
Man,
a
that's
whole
cool,
host of
man.
things. And then there were some things that I learned in that little session that I used until the day I stopped wrestling. And it was, I'm not going to say I was a significant part of Jimmy Uso's training, but that
Right.
little part that I did play, it's like, it. I remember it to the day I die. It was like one of my favorite wrestlers of all time was teaching me and this guy a bunch of stuff that he learned overseas that I'm never going to be able to go over and learn because I just don't have the money to go to Europe.
Right, right.
And it just being a small piece of the puzzle, it's kind of like a little point of pride. It's like
That's
I was able to contribute a little bit. So
yeah, that's cool, man. Well, look, here's another question. Bio said, "How long was your career, and what was the craziest stuff you
hmm.
have done in the ring?"
Oh man, so I was an in ring performer for about 12 years,
Okay.
and man, there are a few things that stand out, but one of the uh, one of the craziest. I don't remember what gave me the idea to do this, but I remember I was pissed off at the time because there's a promoter in Mississippi who did a show in my hometown,
Hmm.
and I put in a lot of work. I was working construction at the time, and when they did shows in Biloxi and in Gulfport, I would go and tell everybody, "Hey, I'm wrestling this weekend. Y'all should come out." And I would get so many butts in those seats, and he would put me in like these big like 9-man cruiserweight battle royal melee matches, like hardcore, the ones that where you're just like one of a dozen people in the ring,
Gotcha.
and you just basically get drowned out in the middle of in the middle of the nonsense, and he booked himself in like the main event, whatever. Like everybody was there to see him, even though nobody knew who the hell he was. But I was mad. I was like, you didn't do any work. You didn't put out any flyers. I've got like 40 people here, and you put me in this like BS match. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna steal the damn show. So it was one of those 9-man melee matches where weapons got involved. We busted out tables, we busted out ladders, we anything that we could think of, we threw it in the ring. And it was after the match started, we found out that these 3 guys in the ring with us had no clue what they were doing. They hadn't even been training for a week. And the way we found out was because as soon as we paired off and started going at each other, my buddy JT Wild, I'm stomping him in the corner. He goes, "You got to be fucking kidding me." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Just turn around." I turned around, and one of these new guys already had a chair in his hand. And I'm like, "What are we doing here?" And I just stood there, hands on the hips and watching him. My buddy Quick was over in the other corner, and he's just standing there doing the same thing. And one of the other guys, new guys, turned around, he looked at him, and he went to swing the chair, but it was one of those like little
Okay.
little pitter pats with the chair, and I was like, oh hell no. So I snatched a chair out of the dude's hand and just laid him out with it.
Damn.
And the third guy was sliding into the ring with another chair right as I was hitting him, and he stood up, and he was like the look on his face was, oh no, what have I got myself into? But the way he was holding that chair and just kind of staring at me, Quick came out of nowhere and kicked that chair right into his face. We 2 of the guys took them 3 and just whipped their asses all over the arena, throwing them in the popcorn machines and the damn garage door. We were in a VFW, so he was throwing them into the Humvees, and he was using everything he could as weapons against these 3. Meanwhile, the rest of us pulled the rest of the match off in the ring, and I think the finish of the match was my buddy Shane actually gave me a Canadian destroyer off a ladder through the table, and it got the crowd going absolutely bananas. But
cool.
yeah, I was so mad at the situation we were put in. I was like, no, we are stealing this damn show. We're doing this. And Shane was like, are you fucking sure? And I was like, yes, climb the damn ladder and put me through that fucking table. So,
That's wild,
and
man.
of course, the match after ours was the tag team championship match, and the tag champs met me back behind the curtain. He was like, how the hell are we supposed to follow that? Like that's your problem to figure out.
Well, look, speaking of wrestling, dude, I think it's that moment. So with that being said, guys, why don't we see a little bit of energy in the ring?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match. This is that guy Quick I was telling you about. So one of my points of pride when I was wrestling was being able to go longer than anybody else I was in the ring with. Basically to go so quick that they would be breathing heavy. This guy right here is the only guy that ever got me breathing heavy within 45 seconds of the match starting. This match was the first time we had ever worked together. We were the opening match on the card. We had never wrestled against each other. And he showed up to the arena 10 minutes before the match started. And this is one of my favorite matches ever.
Cool, guys. This is cool. Roll him up. Oh, nice. Headlock takedown. Okay.
Sloppy little float over there. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
The subtle things, the breaking the arm over the shoulder while you're in the middle of a reversal. I love little things like that. Just adding little additions to the kind of subtle ways to extend the match without really having to do much, you know.
Right.
And it makes it look a little bit more brutal to the crowd.
And you know what's cool? This video is clear too, man.
Yeah. So this video was filmed by a super fan down in the Alabama and Florida area. I believe this was Pain Lord. And yes, I was doing this before Eddie started doing the Three Amigos. The little triple suplex and finish it off with a Falcon Arrow. Yep. But yeah, Pain Lord, he would show up to every independent show, and he would run the forums and the rumor sites, and he would film every match, and he would piece it together just like what you're seeing here. And yeah, I need to try to get a hold of him and see if I have some. He probably has a bunch of the Florida matches that I don't have access to right now.
All right, so hold up. Let's switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, if you want to see these matches, you don't mind if I put these in the chat, right?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So you guys want to see these matches, I'll put them in the chat. But here, let's
This
switch
was
it.
another Pain Lord.
Can't watch them all. But... Oh, energy!
Yeah.
That was
I hate that chair. Yeah, Cameron Frost, he was a lot of fun to wrestle.
Dude, hold on. You gotta see that again. Oh, man.
This was actually a title match for a belt that Cameron had called the X Factor. Basically, the champion got to pick the stipulations for the match. So he wanted American Strong Style rules, which basically meant you could win by pinfall, submission, or knockout. And a count out was 20 count. So you got 20 seconds outside the ring.
That was pretty wild. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, there's a move I did after all the chops back and forth too that it was fun. It was a little drop toe hold into the stairs. Yeah, this one was kind of filmed on a potato, but another one. Me and JT Wild had a good little rivalry up in Hattiesburg.
You just noticed that? You just noticed it? Yeah, I caught it. We had splinters from hell. It had to be cut. He's gonna put me on the chair.
This rivalry here
Go ahead.
this rivalry was kind of a unicorn. Basically, a lot of times when you're a part of a wrestling show, the promoter will they'll have everything mapped out. You know, who's going to win the matches, who's going to interfere, what belts are going to switch hands, what storylines are going to be pushed forward. This was the promoter actually came up to me and JT and said, I want y'all to do about a 6-month program. And we don't want to know what's going to happen. We want you to handle the storyline. We want you to handle, let us know if there's other wrestlers or titles or anything else you need. But we just want to see what you two can come up with. And they put a lot of trust in us to to have a little feud, and the story was so much fun.
And
This
they
was
tearing it
the
up.
this was the second match of the feud. The first one, I won the belt with a triple threat match, and
That's cool, man.
yeah, that snap suplex he did was awesome.
All right, hold up.
Oh, there is a okay. Rewind it about 20 seconds here when he goes to grab the chair. You might want to turn the volume up for this one.
Okay.
The ref.
Yeah.
Get in my damn way.
Yeah, after this pinfall right here,
Time every
I've still
day,
got
huh?
this chair, by the way. Puts on the rope right at the fountain.
Get up!
Yeah. We broke that chair.
Yo, you took that chair like a G.
Yeah, that one still hurts.
All right, let me pop back in to see what the chat is saying. Sky Blue is my favorite female wrestler. Let me see. Wait, what? Energy wrestled with Bray? No, he
No,
didn't say wrestle with Bray.
no, there's a world where I had an opportunity to wrestle in the same promotion that the Usos and Bray Wyatt all end up wrestling in, but it was right around the time that I quit wrestling. So yeah, that was my
It's
old
funny. You can
YouTube
watch some
channel.
of them. Yeah, so he sent me a bunch of matches, so I was just waiting for that moment. So
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't know Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas was brothers. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. I don't like to leave the chat hanging for too long. Bo Dallas deserved the push in WWE. Yeah, man. He had a listen. He was doing his thing in NXT though.
Yeah, and that Brood theme was cool. Man, that
Yeah,
was.
it was really cool, man.
I get chills every time I hear that. Do, do, do.
Oh man. That oh, that was
Mhm.
that was one of my favorite themes.
No, you can't sit in that chair anymore. It's fucked up.
His head was about to turn to ECW. Dammy for the Van Daminator. It reminds me of the 1-2. Oh yeah, the 1-2-3
Yeah.
kid. He got some moves, dude. When you flipped out that ring and
Mm.
WWE 2K in real life.
Yeah, I loved wrestling in Ultimate Wrestling because the way their ring was built, the ropes were a little bit lower than your typical like the ring that you're watching with me and JT.
Mhm.
Normally when you're running the ropes, I'd have to reach up a little bit and the ropes would catch me right mid shoulder blade. But in Ultimate Wrestling, they were about 4 inches lower. So whenever you do the diving spots over the rope, you could actually focus on getting more distance. So that's when me and Cameron were talking about that particular dive that on the other video that we just watched. And I told him that I was going to throw him out on the side with the steps. And I told him I was going to clear the steps.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Are you sure you can make it?" I was like, "Yeah, just be ready to catch me. I just stand on the other side of the steps. I'm going to clear those steps." So he was like, "All right." And yeah, I loved wrestling in that promotion.
That was cool, man. That was really cool. All
So
right, so
this guy and Daniel Creed, after we ended up doing a match where we had a dusty finish where JT Wild got a hold of my cruiserweight title, and he was making me run through the gauntlet to get another shot. And we brought this guy Daniel Creed in because they look close enough to brothers. Daniel Creed is his brother, and if I was going to get another chance at the belt, then I was going to have to go through Creed. Me and Daniel had something planned for the end of this match, and we only told 2 other people, and JT was not one of those 2 people. um, um, so basically, I beat him clean. After the match, JT comes in. He lays me out with the belt. He goes outside, picks a fight with a fan. We had a plant in the crowd, so he laid the fan out with the belt. And so the crowd on that side of the ring was going like, "What in the world are we watching? He's beating up fans now. Like, what is this?" While he's outside doing all of that, Danny has a chair in the ring, and he's pulling his finisher on the chair on me, and we're doing our thing. I'm getting my ass handed to me. Daniel rolls outside the ring, and we had a pair of scissors stashed inside those steps right there. And like I said, nobody except my friend Melissa and I think the promoter knew that Daniel was gonna just start hacking away at my hair. He cut all my hair off.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, but you can see it while he's got me sitting in the chair and he's slicing away at my hair. JT gets back in the ring and he starts walking across the ring, and he kind of sees out of the corner of his eye what's going on, and he kind of stops and like he has one of those oh shit moments. Like he's like, am I really watching what I'm watching right now? And he just turns around, looks at the crowd, and is like, that's what he gets. Like, this is what happens when you mess with me and my brother.
So let me ask you this. What do you prefer, being heel or face?
I actually had a lot of fun as a babyface.
Okay.
This was the only match I ever wrestled as Jeremy Lacuna. It was clear that Energy Crisis wasn't going to get his title shot. This was the month after I got my hair cut off. This chicken shit heel was taking all challengers, but every challenger he had was like 4 foot nothing and 90 something pounds. It was like, no, you're going to take on this guy, Jeremy Lacuna from Italy. Okay, fine. I ain't nobody ever heard of his ass. I'll beat his ass. And then, I beat him clean. He rips the mask off, and we had a little botch right there, but he covered it nice. We kind of had to improvise right here. But yeah, after the match, we sent the crowd home happy once he ripped the mask off and they saw that it was me.
That's cool, man. That's
something
cool,
really cool about the fans over off to the right. That whole side of the crowd was a family that would come to every one of these shows. Mm-hmm. And I never told anybody what my birthday was or anything like that. That whole side of the audience, one year we did a show on my birthday and they brought me birthday presents.
That's cool.
And I thought that was really like sweet. That a lot of the pictures on my MySpace where I'm holding the cruiserweight title with the fans, it's fans from that family. Like a lot of the kids, I would let them hold the belt, and they were really sweet to me.
This is cool, man. Well, I gotta see it.
Oh yeah, this was after the match.
Okay, after match. All right. Oh, when you pulled the mask off.
Yeah.
But is this the match ended at this point or no?
This was right.
Okay, it's still going because he counted.
Yeah, this was right at the end of it. Yeah, he tried to hit me with a fairy tale ending right there. That was the move I used as my finisher for the longest time. I called it the overcharge.
That was a fast count, man.
Yeah, that ref didn't know what he was doing.
I'm just saying. That almost looked like that was Tamika in there. I don't know.
Right? That ref always counted fast, and he always got in my way. I got really mad at him one time because I was about to dive out of the ring on somebody, and he like walked right in front of me.
Oh wow!
And I told him to move his fat ass out of my way.
He snatched the mask off, and it's you.
Oh, yeah,
dude, this
he
is
cut
cool.
them
It's like the
paps.
storyline. I mean, so I'm a big fan of wrestling, but I do enjoy the entertainment part of it a lot because I love the storylines. And like you just pulling the mask off, it's like, oh, I admire the wrestling, obviously, right? But
this was a really fun feud.
But that's cool, man. That's cool. All right, so now what I want to ask you is so wait, let me catch up with the chat first before we go on to the next thing. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Oh, what's up, Dave? How's it going, man?
Hey
Coming
Dave, what's
here with
going on?
energy. I was a big LA Knight fan until I saw him wrestle. Oh, wait, what do you mean? How was you?
Damn,
So was you a fan of him from his promos and stuff, and then you got to see him wrestling, you didn't like his wrestling?
talking all that shit.
So now what I want to do is hand it over to you. Is there anything extra you wanted to bring up? You wanted to go into? Um, you wanted to say that I didn't get a chance to mention? Like anything you want to bring up?
Um, somebody asked earlier who I'd met. I like the answer to that question. My favorite person that I actually met and got time in the ring with was Gangrel. But there's a lot of other names that I've bumped into backstage or in other promotions or hung out with some really really cool people that I'd like to shout out because you always remember the celebrities you meet, which ones were nice to you, which ones were
Right.
assholes. I'm going to refrain from mentioning some of the assholes, but some of the really really cool people that I had fond memories of: Cowboy James Storm, Road Dog Jesse James, Paul Bearer, again Robert Gibson. I learned a lot from that guy. Um, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Every time I've bumped into them, they were really really awesome, down to earth, really humble. And Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer was. Um, I only had like a brief conversation with him, but just the information that I picked up in that conversation, I was like, damn, this dude's like really trying to help people make it in this business.
That's cool.
So yeah, those I think those guys really deserve shout outs.
Hold up. He said, "Nah, it doesn't matter what you think, because once I become the people's champ, they will be chanting my name with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah,
Yeah, dude, Corey Graves the other day talking about I can't wait till we go to France, L.A. night. We.
we. Oh, main event Ron Slusher is in the building. I just found out wrestling is fake.
Oh no. Hey, there's a big difference between fake and choreographed. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, man.
People
Happy
don't get hurt
anniversary,
doing
kids.
fake.
Oh, how did I leave that out?
Hmm. Yeah, we totally skipped the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, how did you get
um,
into wrestling?
so wrestling was something that I've always been a fan of ever since I was a little kid. Like really the only quality time I ever spent with my old man was Monday night watching wrestling.
Mhm.
Um, once I was about 18, um, got out on my own, and there was a promotion in my area called King Style.
Mhm.
Um, they had an ad in the newspaper where they were offering free training for cruiserweights. I was like, okay, now me and JT, we both looked at that ad and we were like, what could it hurt? Let's go train, see what we can pick up. The guy that ran it, he he claimed to be trained by Boris Malenko, Dean Malenko's father. In actuality, he probably went to a couple of classes and learned the basics, and then took that knowledge and started a school without really knowing a whole lot himself. But in any event, that was the foot in the door. From there, once King Style kind of folded up, there was a few of us that branched out. Had connections over in Alabama. So he brought a few of us over there to wrestle a few shows, and uh, it's like the more and more you do it, the more and more you want to you want to learn more. You want to meet more people. You want to branch out and meet more people, expand your repertoire, add to your move set, and just learn all you can. And that's basically what I did for a couple of years. Um, Went into the Air Force. It didn't work out. Got back out, and one of the guys that I mentioned him earlier, Damien, uh, I ran with him a good little bit while I was touring in Alabama. He called me out of the blue after I got out of the Air Force and was like, "Hey, you know how hard it is to get a hold of you? It's like you just dropped off the grid. I've been trying to get a hold of you for like a year and a half, man. What are you doing this Saturday?" I was like, "Nothing." He said, "Well, can you make it to Pensacola by about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning?" Sure, why not? He gave me the address, met him at the arena. He introduced me to his tag team partner, DJ Pringle. He was like, "Yeah, Paul Bearer is his dad. You'll meet him later tonight." And I'm thinking that at that point, I hadn't really wrestled with any of the big names.
Right.
Like I hadn't had any of them pop up backstage or anything. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Quit embellishing. Just tell me who I'm wrestling tonight and let me start working with them." Well, lo and behold, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Paul Bearer comes walking up in the building, and I walked over, introduced myself, and he was like, "You see that big ugly redheaded son of a bitch right there?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What has he said about me?" I said, "Honestly, I haven't talked to him all that much. I've been focusing on just training and rolling and going through my drills. But he did tell me that you were his dad. He said that's the only thing that boy ever says that you can take to the bank." Duly noted, sir. Thanks for the warning. So I was.
That's pretty cool, man.
It's one of the funny stories. After that show, there were a couple of promotions that I'd worked for in the area in Florida and Alabama that Paul would pop up in, and he was always just a really sweet guy, really funny
So
guy.
you were 18. You seen they was training wrestlers, and you just was like, why not?
Yeah, it's something I was always interested in. I said, I might want to learn to do this. It's something I might enjoy doing. And then once I started training, they had a ring set up in a warehouse, and that's where we did our training.
Okay.
And whenever we did a show, we would break it down, take it to the arena, set it up, and then once the show was over, we'd break it back down, move back to the warehouse. 6 days a week. As soon as the doors were open, I was in the ring, and they would have to run me out of there to lock up the building. I was, as much time as I could get in the ring, I was there.
That's cool, man. So I got a let me catch up with the chat, and then I got something for you. So I want you to think of a number between
No.
0 and 217. Dave said
Jesus.
the Brood is one of my favorite factions and my favorite entrance ever. And he said, yeah. And Bio said, who were the wrestlers growing up did you enjoy watching the most?
Growing up, I really, really loved Sting. Surfer Sting was one of my favorites back in the day. And then when he did the Crow gimmick, The Crow was one of my favorite movies ever. It is my favorite movie ever. So, I'm a big Sting fan. I'm a big fan of Chris Jericho. To me, he's one of those guys, in-ring talent, microphone skills, the ability to reinvent himself. He is the total package. Chris is, and he was a really cool guy too. The one time I did get to meet him. I was always a big fan of the Hardys, and basically all of the supernatural, mysterious characters. Your Undertakers, your Bray Wyatts. Those are guys that I really.
Did you like Aleister Black? He had martial arts. He was creepy.
I didn't. I haven't had a chance to dig too much into him, but the one storyline I saw, he was intriguing. And I loved that when he went to AEW, he kept the black eye from the burn he got, and he kept that storyline going.
Yeah, he had a whole thing with Seth, right?
Yeah. Oh, and another one that doesn't get enough love. I used to love Japanese wrestling too. Your Great Mutas, your Jushin Thunder Ligers.
Great movie.
But to me, Hayabusa is hands down one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
One of the best high flyers for sure.
I learned about them from the Japanese wrestling games that I used to play, and those like
Mhm.
they would, you would be able to create the American people and put them in the game. But
Mhm.
yeah, you would just we all want to play Hayabusa, and I fell in love with the Great Muda, with the mist.
Yep. I think I'm lagging. Is hands down one of the greatest to ever do it. One of the best high flyers for sure.
I learned about them from the Japanese wrestling games that I used to play. Like they would, you would be able to create the American people and put them in the game. But yeah, you would all want to play Hayabusa, and I fell in love with the Great Muda.
Yep.
All right, so we're still on, right? Okay, hold
I
up.
think so.
All right, Energy, you can hear me?
I hear you.
All right, guys, are we still on? All right, hold up. Let me refresh this on my side.
Yeah, it froze
Oh,
up.
my
Right in the
internet
middle
is out.
of Hayabusa.
Oh, that's what it is. My internet went out. All right, hold on. All right, so one moment. Let me pull up the chat. All right, cool. Let me see. That's why. All right. Okay, it said you didn't lag. LOL. My chat froze. Oh, what's going on, Michael? All right, Energy, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you, and I've got the.
If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. All right, cool. Now I can't hear you, so hold up. Let me get my Let me go. This is the magic here. I'll take you guys with me. So I guess my that's weird. The internet went out. Okay, so it's flashing. So I guess it must be coming back on. Let me go check with Sandy. Your internet went out? Oh, TV. All that? Okay. All right, yeah. That's strange. All right, anyway, guys. Oh, you know what? Let me all right, are we still on though? All right, cool. All right. Let me put my headphones in my ear, and then I could be able to talk to you. The show can't stop. You know what? They're in another room.
Stop.
Hold on, let me try to put this on speaker. One moment, guys. Let me see. Audio. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so default. Let's see. I want to make this speaker. Can I do that? No?
Testing 1 2.
All right, microphone, speakers. All right, hold up. Let me Man, that's crazy. So yeah, okay, my power didn't go out. Oh, I think my internet's about to come back on. All right, there we go, guys.
There we go. You must be getting some of the.
Oh yeah,
the storms coming through, huh?
It is pouring out there.
Yeah, last night we were getting some really heavy wind with it too. So if you have to go out, be careful.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is we didn't get anything to eat yet, so guess we might be eating food in the house.
PB&J.
PB&J. Well, I don't want to have another PB&J. I had that earlier. Oh wow, so it's funny it had you on there by itself. All right, guys, so I am back. Sorry about that. I see Michael came in the building. What's up, Michael? Let me see. Wait, that's Ninja Gaiden. Oh, you talking about Ryu Hayabusa?
Mm.
Yeah, from Ninja Gaiden. Different Hayabusa.
Yeah.
Let me see. Chat froze, didn't lag. All right, let me see. It's raining hard over here. Sanchez said you're lagging, Cowboy. Yeah, oh yeah, I knew it was me. I knew it was me because my internet knocked out. Yo, what's up, Keelan Blood? How's it going? All right, let me see. Doing pretty good today, man. Bad storm. Uh, could be, yeah, definitely. It's pouring right now. Coffee break.
The the wrestler Hayabusa, for those of y'all don't know, he's actually the one that invented the Falcon Arrow
Mhm.
and the Phoenix Splash that some of y'all have seen Seth Rollins bust out.
Right, and the
Um,
Falcon Arrow. I
yep.
love when he does that superplex into the Falcon Arrow. So,
Mhm.
energy, give me that number, man.
Oh, no, you said between 1 and 217?
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Let's go with 117.
117. All right. So, guys, 117. These are questions we're going to have energy answer. So, if you guys want to pick a number between 1 and 217, we're going to have energy answer these questions. So,
Oh, this could get interesting.
it can. So, question number
Oh,
1 for
wow.
you, okay, is going to be, have you ever considered suicide? What is so important to you that without life would be worth living? So would
Uh,
not be worth living.
so the answer to that one would be no.
No,
To me, that's just never been an option.
that's
No
cool.
matter how bad things get, if I'm still breathing, there's a chance they can get better. So
Okay,
I'm just going to fight and press forward and do what I got to do to make it better. That's just a mentality I've always had.
that's cool, man. It's cool. Let me see. Last night during the podcast, that's why I had to leave. Was the storm? Oh, I got you, man. I got you. Hot Pocket said number 23. Guys, pick some numbers. We're gonna throw them at energy, and he has to answer them. So number 23 is the number that I see all the
Is
time.
this like random questions that you found online?
So
So,
what's cool is this means a lot to me. This book I bought. Well, so I bought I own the actual physical copy of this. It's called the Book of Questions, and I bought it back in 2000. I used to work at this job back in 2000, and somebody gifted me the book, and then I ended up buying my own. They showed me the book. I bought my own, and I bought a bunch of people the book. But it's 217 random questions, and like it's just so random. So it's like a party starter. You could go somewhere and then just tell somebody pick a number, and then you just go off of it. So I love it, and I thought, hey, let's do that. So number 23 is going to be, while on a trip to another city, your spouse or lover meets and spends a night with an exciting stranger. Given that they will never meet again and that you will not otherwise learn of the incident, would you want your partner to tell you about it? And if roles were reversed, would you reveal what you had done? Now, this is hard because you're sitting next to your significant other. So would you? so so would you want to know? Don't look at her. Don't look at her. Don't.
um, if she had a good time, I'd be happy, but I wouldn't want to know any details about that.
Yeah.
Um,
So I said that before, and people got mad at me. I said, no, I like that. Ignorance is bliss. I'm
yeah,
cool. Listen, if
and,
you do what you do and you got away with it, I never know. I guess I never knew. Just
and
make sure I never find out. But go ahead,
And
guys.
I'm kind of like Bailey. I'm a hugger. You know, but like Hot Pocket will tell you, basically everybody at work that I'm friends with, I'll walk up to them, give them a big hug first thing through the door.
Me too.
And I'm a security manager where I work, and my wife is a cocktail server. And she actually had somebody ask her, you know, like, don't you get mad or jealous that he's hugging all these women at work every night? She's like, hell no. If any of them are good enough to take him from me, he wouldn't mind in the first place. So
I like
I
that.
mean, yeah, it's just the mentality. If you're confident in your relationship, hey,
Now there was a side part to that question, energy, that you didn't answer, and it went like this: if roles were reversed, would you reveal what you had done?
only if she asked me.
Got you. That's fair. Okay. So people are coming in. They're coming in. So had to say 69. Now here's what sucks.
Oh hell,
69
had
is one
to.
of the most boring questions on here. Everybody always picks 69 and it's not special. So we're
They
gonna go to
probably
69.
did that because they knew everybody loved that number so much. So let's make
Yep.
it the most. Like, yeah.
If a friend were almost always late, would you resent it or simply allow for it?
Hmm. I I would allow for it, but I would start telling them like if something was supposed to start at 4 o'clock, I'd start
Okay.
telling them, yeah, be here at 2:30.
Okay. And then it asks, can you be counted on to be on time?
Well, anybody who's former military will tell you 5 minutes early is still 10 minutes late. So yeah.
Hmm. Okay. All right, number 200.
Hmm.
Okay. So that's a good one, 200. Um, I haven't heard anybody pick that in a long time. So let's see. I can't remember the number for my favorite one. It's so good and I always forget the number. But it's a really cool one. But 200 says, oh, the short ones are usually not that good. But let's see. In conversation, do you tend to listen or talk more?
It depends.
Mhm.
I like to pick people's brains. So a lot of times I will listen, but there are some topics that, like, once you get me started on, I won't shut up about.
That's fair. Um, so Hot Pocket said 27. So we're going to 27. Oh, Kara. Okay. So Kara's picking it. Hot Pocket's picking it for Kara.
Oh, Kara's in here too.
Number 27. And I want to say, man, thank you for introducing me to really cool people. Hot Pocket,
Yeah,
aka Kara, aka Devlin, and also Rain. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Uh,
Devlin, say hey to Kara for me.
and I said 27, right? All right. So 27 says, if God appeared to you in a series of vivid and moving dreams and told you to leave everything behind, travel alone to the Red Sea and become a fisherman, what would
Oh
you
man,
do? What would you do?
Hmm. That's a touchy one, especially that second part of that.
I was
Um,
gonna, yep, I was holding
yeah,
off and then I was gonna, read that one.
yeah. Because one of the things that really irritated me, I know it's kind of a dark subject, but
Okay.
after my daughter died, one of the things that I really got tired of was people telling me it was all part of God's plan.
I can
And in my
understand.
head, I was like, I don't want to be a part of any plan that doesn't have my child there.
Yeah.
Um, so
So you
yeah,
pretty much answered it. Yeah.
yeah, if that scenario were to be given to me,
Right.
I'd be that guy. Hey, haven't you already got enough? You already got one of my children. There ain't no way in hell I'm giving you another one.
Yeah. And
Um,
what about going to be a fisherman?
I, I've never really been much up for fishing. You know.
Fair enough. It's funny. I was an atheist for 36 years, and I don't really know even where I'm at right now. I just know whenever I get into something, I'm either here or here, like you were saying
Hmm.
earlier. And so I ended up going to a church. I don't want to make this about me, but real quick, I went to a church and back in 2012. And so I got super into it and I was going just to make money. And so it's funny. I was just there. I don't care about God. I'm just making money. And
Hmm.
somehow I got into it and my kids got into it. And it was a thing for about 3.5 years. And I mean, I was all in. I mean, all in. And I became many different things in that church. And so when it all came crashing down, I was like, man, humans ruin everything, right? It's always a
Yeah, they
human.
do.
So that was a little phase of my life, and so a lot of it stuck with me. It promoted me to get married to Sandy now, blah blah blah. I got my daughter back in my life that I left her when she was 3 months old. Came back in her life when she was 9 years old. Blah blah blah. So but I understand why people don't believe in God because I didn't believe in God for 36 years. So I get that seeing is believing, and so it's hard sometimes to read something like this, a dream, and then you'd be like, oh sure, But
Yeah.
without us getting too deep into it. Anyway, and I meant to have 27 on the screen. So let's go to 12. All right. So 12 has been thrown your way. which is if you were able to live to the age of 90 and remain either the body or the mind of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
I,
Ooh,
I would keep the body.
okay.
The mind can keep maturing. You can still gain a lot of knowledge and insight and experience. But if I could go back to like my body from when I was 30 with the knowledge I have now, I there are some things that I'd probably jump back in the ring. To be honest with you.
I agree. I always answer that question the same way. Um, my grandfather, before he passed away at 86, he was so sharp at
Mm-hmm.
86 years old, you know. All right, so we're going to go to three. Number 3 says, if you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone?
Um, hmm. That's a tricky one because there are things you tell people every day, but
Right.
like my daughter, I tell her every day that I love her. I tell her every time I leave the house, I love you. Um, I guess like that there can never be too many times, you know, that would be the one thing. And it's not that I haven't told her, like I tell her 5, 6 times every day, but if I went without the chance to tell anybody anything, that would probably be the biggest thing
Okay.
that I didn't get to tell her I loved her one more time, you know.
That's fair. Yeah. And the follow up is just, why haven't you told him? But
But I have.
right. Okay. Let's see.
Before the next question, give me 1 second. I got to run to the bathroom real quick.
All right. Energy is going to take a break,
Yep.
and we will take a little break as well. All right. Be right back, guys. What's going on, guys? I want to welcome you to something very special, the And Now Your Mama Knows All-Purpose Champions. And what that is a membership for the channel. It's $2.99 a month, and with $2.99 a month, you will get virtual videos. That's right, guys. What I'm doing is something different that no one else is doing. So for that $2.99, if you have any type of business, anything you sell, anything you want to promote, whether it's a YouTube channel, a social media page, I will make a custom video specifically for you, and I'll be illustrating everything that you tell me to. I'll add links to the video. It's going to be in a playlist, and that way it'll literally be your own personal advertisement. Also, guys, we're going to be doing member shout outs. So the people who are members, if you're an all-purpose champion, I'm going to have your name all over. I'm going to announce your name in multiple videos. Don't worry, guys. The world will know that you are an all-purpose champion. Something I also want to do, guys, that's going to be awesome and monumental is I'm going to have early access to videos. That's right. If you're an all-purpose champion, you'll be able to watch certain videos before anybody else. Also, guys, I have emojis and badges. And the cool thing about the badges are the longer you become an all-purpose champion, guys, you get the upgrade from badges to badges to badges. So you can show everyone else your cool badges and why you're an all-purpose champion. Well, guys, thank you. And I know you all can't wait to rush out and become a Now Your Mama Knows all-purpose champion. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And now your mama knows.
And now your mama knows.
Oh, my bad. I was just jamming for a little bit. That used to be my old music to the channel. Man, I used to be rocking with that. All right, but guys, let's bring back Jeremy is back from his break.
That's one of the worst things about getting older, man. It's like you every couple hours you gotta go pee, and it's like, damn, I better not try to hold it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, man. So
It's almost like when you go out drinking, you turn that faucet on, it don't stop.
like, oh no. All right, so he said 23 is awkward. I want to hold up. I want to know. You want to know what? Or do you want us to read number 2?
Oh, he said 3. I wants to know.
No, so we just read 3.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, I guess he's just talking about you want to know. All right. So we'll move on. Let me see. Let's do 44. They're throwing these at you. All right. So
Mhm.
44.
Some of these are interesting, though.
Yeah, man, dude. I love. My wife actually got, oh, you're always reading this thing everywhere we go. I'm like, it's so amazing. It brings up so much conversation. But all right, so you are offered $1 million for the following act. Before you are 10 pistols, only one of which is loaded. You must pick up one of the pistols, point it at your forehead, and pull the trigger. If you could walk away, you do so a millionaire. Would you accept the risk?
Now I'm happy walking away from the money.
Nice. I
Yeah,
always
it's
say
just,
that. I
yeah,
always
it's
say
not,
I
it's
got,
not worth it.
I got
Yeah,
a
10%.
1 out of 10 chance. I'm doing it. Bam.
Nah.
But all right. So Hot Pocket went to 169. And what's going on? I see Sour Blow is in the building. Sour Blow, I need to interview you one day, man. Bringing back
69.
these
Let's try
interviews.
169.
Yeah, right. It's like if I didn't get it with 69, we going to
Yep.
169. All right. So 169 says, how many times during the day do you look at yourself in the mirror?
Maybe one when I'm getting out of the shower and I walk by the mirror.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I might check it every now and then while I'm at work just to make sure that my uniform's not dirty or something. I don't have like random hair hanging off of me or whatever the
Okay.
case may be. But yeah, not very often. I'm not really vain like that.
Okay, wait. We got number 9. So we got one more. I might have to search for my favorite one. You know what? I'm gonna do it just for you. And I'm gonna
I
have
don't feel special.
you answer it. Yeah, man. It's my favorite, and no one ever picks it. All right. So number 9 says, would you accept $1 million to leave the country and never set foot in it again?
No, I like this country too much. Where else in the world are you going to go? No. There's no place in the world like America.
I'm going to Australia if you ask me. But you know. Oh, look, we got more numbers. Number 20. If you knew of a way to use your estate following your death to greatly benefit humanity, would you do it and leave only a minimal amount to your family? Ooh, it's interesting.
Um, I'd probably say yes, because I mean, let's face it, I'm never going to be rich. I'm basically planning on leaving a minimal amount to my family anyway. But if there's a way to forward humanity or advance it in some way, some significant way, yeah. I mean, everybody wants to be remembered, uh, and remembered positively. So I think
That's cool,
that
man.
would be.
Listen, Jay, don't count it out, baby. When I move to Florida, we might create some building or some business or something crazy.
Hey, as many ideas as we have,
right?
Then yeah.
Can you imagine us sitting in the same room?
Man.
It's just gonna
hours and hours of conversations of, man, what if this happened? What if we tried this? What if, like, damn, what if we just changed the color of this thing?
That's gonna be cool. All right, 41. So 41 says, your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be?
If I can't save any of my collectibles, I'm going for the PS5.
Okay. You know what's weird? I thought about that. I always thought of the PS5, but I probably would save my phone first.
I'm probably gonna have my phone in my pocket. So I mean,
Okay,
that's
fair enough. All right, 65. All right, so when you tell a story, do you often exaggerate or embellish it? If so,
you
why?
worked your butt off to get that PlayStation. I'm not letting it go like that. Look at me like that. Um, I mean, everybody embellishes a little bit, but I don't like exaggerating details. Um, I mean, when you exaggerate, it gets harder and harder to remember what's true about it and what's not.
That's true.
And I do like to remember things how they actually happen.
That's true. I always tell
Um,
my wife, whenever we're telling a story, I'm like, let me tell the story, because she just gets straight to it. Oh, we hit the curb and the tire blew. I'm like, yeah, wait, you didn't even tell us about how we was eating at the time and we swerved from a
now,
duck in the road.
now I
So
am notorious for getting like annoyed when somebody else tells a story and they leave out certain details.
yes,
I'm
that's
like,
me.
no, you yeah. So I get that.
That's me. All
But
right,
like
so
just like the example from earlier, I was telling you about being in the ring with Gangrel and Jimmy Uso. You know, I'm not like I said, I'm not going to sit there and try to say that that was a significant part of Jimmy Uso's
right,
training. You know,
right.
he probably wouldn't even remember me if I bumped into him tomorrow. But you know, I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. So I mean, it's just those 3 hours were a huge influence on like my
That's
like
cool.
probably one of the coolest things that happened to me while I was wrestling. You know.
That's cool. All right, guys. The last number I'm gonna take is that 56. Um, but let's go to 33, which is, what is the greatest accomplishment of your life? Is there anything you hope to do that is even better?
I can't not say my kids, man. Um, yeah, I don't know what you can do that's more
Right.
important than that.
Make more kids. I don't know.
My wife did say 29 though.
Yeah,
What
no,
is
no, no. I
29?
said I was gonna, after Hot Pockets
Oh
is
yeah.
56. Yeah, so
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
going to 29 right now. All right, so 29. Have you ever hated anyone? If so, why and for how long? That's interesting.
Um. Yeah. My old man. Um. Uh. There was my ex-wife started a fight at his house on Christmas Day, and he sided with her, and I never talked to him again after that. He died a couple of years ago of COVID, and it's one of them strange things. I know some people are probably going to get a little pissed at me for saying this, but you know they always tell you to you know say what you got to say or you'll regret it. Whatever. I mean, since he's been gone, I could care less. He there were so many negative memories and so much toxicity every time I would go over to his house that I
I have
yeah
a if anybody kind of has, well, I don't know. I think people are pretty open minded, but I think I agree with you. I have a really close friend of mine in my intro. He's in my intro, and he passed away. And two actually people in my intro passed away, and I put RIP for both of them. But I was really close to one of them. I was close to both of them, but one was like my brother, and he was loved my kids, right? And I love everybody. He was actually gay, and we used to live together. Like, that was my guy, though. That was my heart. So he died, and so my son was really upset because every time I would go see my friend, we would go take him birthday cakes. He lived in a nursing home because he had one of his legs amputated. He was really overweight. And so I would visit him all the time. He was in a coma at one point. I told the doctors, he had me as the person to contact. So one day I'm sitting there, I get a phone call. They're like, listen, is Anthony Lewis on the, yeah, there's like, we need you to let us know if we should put a trach in him. I'm like, why you asking me? There's like, because he has you on the list. I'm like, so I told him if that's going to help him, yes. So he's in a coma for a while. They called me and said, listen, we could transfer him. I said, listen, they said, where to take him? I said, if you transfer him near me, I'll see him every day. I went and seen him every single day for 30 days straight. He woke up. So long story short, when he passed away, my son was really upset. My son said, I never went and seen him. I said, no, don't be upset. I said, whatever you was doing in life is what you wanted to do. People, like even my wife, her and her brother had ups and downs. Sometimes he would stay for the Christmas for a week, and then sometimes we were like, oh, we can't be bothered. So he actually got hit by a car. He passed away a couple years ago. She was like, she would reminisce over the good stuff, and I said, listen, it's good with the bad, and at the end of the day, you can't, like, before he died, he had wanted us to come over to his house and watch a movie, but we were going to go see the Mortal Kombat movie in the theater, so we'd rather go to the theater. We love going to the movies. So it bothered her. I said, don't be bothered, because that's what you wanted to do at the time. If you didn't, you would have did something else, right? So I think we're free beings. No one's forcing us to do anything. So sometimes you might not be as close with somebody, but that's what you chose to do. So you never regret it, because that's, unless somebody forced you and you're like, oh, I really wish I could have been there, but you forced me. But if you did on free will, you was busy, you didn't get around to it. That's just the luck of the draw. So I totally understand when
with
you actually know
with that one, it always comes back to there's a line. I used to watch The Walking Dead all the time, and there was a line where Herschel said to somebody that some fathers don't earn the love of their children, and that line I always think about whenever I go back to you know that whole situation.
Is that your energy sitting in the room? I feel like it has to be recorded. That would be it. Dude, I think we would have to have like a legit just camera to the side. And not that we're like, we just have it recording as we just chop it up. All right, so let me
Hell
do
yeah.
56, and then I want to kind of get kind of start to close it out since we're about to hit 2 hours. But if you found that a good friend had AIDS, would you avoid him? What if your brother or sister had it?
I wouldn't avoid them. I mean, I'm not sleeping with them, so there's no chance I'm going to catch it. I mean, um, AIDS is one of those things. It's not a very pleasant way to go. I mean, a good friend of mine, I'm going to stick it out with them, and I'm going to make sure that they have somebody to talk to through the whole thing.
Yeah. So this book is probably came out in the late 90s, so it's kind of dated. Like now they probably wouldn't, you know what I mean? But back then, AIDS would have been more of a like. So I think that's why that question was. But I will do this, I promise. I want to real quick see if I can find my number, and because I don't want us to go too long, because I want some people to definitely watch this back afterwards, and I know the way YouTube, if it's too
Yeah.
long, some people would just be like, okay, we're.
I take it you haven't done this in a good little minute. You probably had the number memorized at one point, huh?
I did, man. I did. Let me see. But it starts. I know it word for word though. Like I know I could recite it for you right now. It starts with if a cave-in occurred. So that is yeah. I mean, but I kind of wanted to read it though, and then I kind of wanted to try to remember what it was. I wonder if I had wrote it down at one point in time. But it's a lot. It's not a small one too. So you'll know it because you'll see it, and it's like, oh wait, it got a lot to it. Let's see. There it is. All right. So you ready? It's 183. All right. This is my personal favorite, and I want to read it for you. If a cave-in occurs while you and a stranger are in a concrete room deep in a mine shaft, before the phone goes dead, you learn that the entire mine is sealed and the air hole being drilled will not reach you for 30 hours. If you both take sleeping pills from the medicine chest, the oxygen will last for only 20 hours. Both of you can't survive alone. One of you might. After you both realize this, the stranger takes several sleeping pills, says that it's in God's hands, and falls asleep. You have a pistol. What do you do?
Mm. I gotta take my chances and hope that 30 hours is a. I gotta hope that they pull through and do it quicker than that. That's just me. I can't take them out like that. Either we both surviving or neither one of us are.
Right. So, long story short, both of you are gonna die because it said both of you can't survive. So that's cool. I'm bashing him in the head and saying temporary insanity. How is he just gonna take a sleeping pill? Why would he do that to me?
Right.
No, he tried to shoot me, and I had to shoot him back.
Hmm.
I'm sure scientifically they'll find out that I shot him in his sleep. They'll be
Yeah.
like, this guy was sleeping when you killed him. I'm like,
Make
no,
it
I
look like a
swear he
suicide
attacked
or
me.
something. Make it look like he took himself out and told me to enjoy my life or something. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Oh man! All
I
right, so
couldn't
this
do
was the
nobody
booker
dirty like
question.
that.
I'm glad people did enjoy it. That was cool that they asked a bunch of they threw a bunch of questions at you. Any last thing we could go over or bring up before we close out, man? And thank you again.
We didn't go over the name Energy Crisis. I know we mentioned it briefly the other day. So that original promoter in King Style, he asked me, he told me to come up with a name. I was watching the news one day, and back in 2001, they were talking about rolling blackouts in California. So I looked at him and I was like, hey, tell him my name's Energy Crisis, and every time we do a show, I'll be from a different city in California.
And you thought of it just like that.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude. Thank you very much, because that is very important. Also, how you got into wrestling, someone asked earlier, was very important, and I don't know how that let that slip from me. So I gotta brush up on my interviewing skills, man. It's been a while.
I forgot about that too. I was like, how did we go to the beginning and not come up? Well, how did you get the name?
But yeah, that is cool. So wow. So you came up with the name because there was power outages in California.
Yep. And I've never even been further west than Texas.
That is cool as hell.
But I did come up with 2 questions for you.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, you said you wanted me to fire 2 of them at you. So one of them, if you were to start training as a wrestler, what would your ring name be? And if you could pick any 3 wrestlers to train you, who would they be?
So
Living or dead?
I use all-purpose chant forever, but it does sound stupid if you wasn't like say it out loud. But that's literally I started using that when I was playing No Mercy. No, probably before No Mercy, because Kim Chi was in WrestleMania WWE 2. What is it called? Anyway, so it's been since the late '90s. But and I like, even when I want to make my character, I don't want to make Cowboy, because actually I have to tell you that one day. But that kind of like, no one ever called me Cowboy. That just kind of fell into place. I just knew that marketing, it is emojis and everything. But that's why Loco knew me forever, so he always called me All Purpose, because he's like, probably like, Cowboy, I ain't calling you a damn Cowboy. What the hell is that? None of my actual friends call me Cowboy. Like, that's but it will have to be all-purpose champ. I don't care if it be corny, sound weird, but I'll still be the all-purpose champ. And to be trained, man, I would love to be trained by Stone Cold. He's my favorite wrestler, so I would love him to help me with my promos and speaking and stuff, right? One of my favorite wrestlers, in-ring wrestlers, is Kurt Angle. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. I love Kurt Angle, man. I love how he was like the good guy version, where Stone Cold was like the tough guy, right? And I loved when that was my favorite feud when we asked the other day. So definitely Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, and it's gonna sound weird, funny, cheesy, but one of my favorite wrestlers, because I love stage presence. And even though this wrestler didn't go that far in the grand scheme of wrestling, but I was a big fan of Chris Masters. Like, his whole thing when he first came out, he had the Master Lock Challenge, didn't lose it for a whole year. Nobody could break out of it. And do you remember who broke out of it?
Was it Lashley?
It was Lashley, and now he does
Yeah, now he does the Master Lock,
exactly.
the Hurt Lock. Yeah.
So yeah, those 3 guys, man. Those are my funny enough, those are my 3 favorite wrestlers.
And to me, Chris Masters did the narcissist gimmick better than Lex Luger did.
I think so.
He was basically the narcissist Lex Luger, but
yeah,
he did it better.
Yeah. So yeah, it would definitely be those 3 guys, man, and I would still keep all-purpose champ. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But thank you for remembering that, to bring up those questions for me as well, because I think it's kind of cool to have the person being interviewed actually have their own little thing they bring to the table.
Yeah.
So think it's kind of cool.
I've been racking my brain too. I was like, what 2 questions am I gonna ask Cowboy? I mean, we talked about everything I want to know, but yeah, you said the Cowboy thing kind of fell into place. I mean, look at you've had Cowboy Bob Orton, Cowboy James Storm. Like,
Yeah.
there's a few Cowboys, but
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, this guy in the community, Rated Gaming Cyborg, when I first came into the Stadia community, cloud gaming community, I didn't really know anybody, and I was already doing stuff on my channel. I used to, it's all on my channel too. I used to host a live, I was the host of a live video game tournament show. And so a guy had his house as a, he had it dolled up and everything. It was his studio. Like, I mean, you walk in his house, it wasn't like a regular house. He had, cameras all over. And so I used to go to a video game store, and I had my own little clan. We came and we won 18 straight tournaments before we lost our first tournament. So
damn.
yeah, it was amazing. And because we were a little older, so we played everything for old games, new games, and then we finally met up with these kids in Smash Brothers, and they beat the dog piss out of us. So anyway, me and this guy kept in contact, and I would come in there and come up with wrestling promos, but in the store. So all these people are in the store, and I would come and snatch the microphone and start talking trash. Well, anyway, years later, his mom passed away, and one of the greatest honors ever. He asked me what I do the eulogy for his mom, or what I read it. And so I had, practice this thing. He said, I know you're not afraid to talk in front of people, but would you come to the funeral? I said, sure, man. So that was really cool. So after that, he had a ideal of a one-off video game tournament. He asked me, could I be the host? It's for Tekken. Well, since I love to play Tekken, I said, well, could I be in it as well as the host? So he said, yeah, but how would you do that? I said, well, this is what I do. I used to sell kettle corn, so I go to street fairs and all stuff like that. And the guy who we worked for, you had to wear a cowboy hat. Like, that was his little gimmick. So I had bought my own cowboy hat at a rodeo one time, and I was like, dude, so when I do the host, I'll have like my blazer on and stuff, like from work. But then when I would play, I'll put gloves on and have a cowboy hat on, right? And take the blazer off. I got two
kind of like Sonic Fox with his big fox head and the tail and everything. Okay.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I would always have the hat. It was just something I did silly. And so when me and Loco, we used to do a Wednesday night stream called All Purpose Champion Crew. It was me, him, and another guy, Just Joe, and we would just stream games, right? And I would wear the cowboy hat just to be silly. No one called me Cowboy. I never called myself Cowboy, but I would be silly sometime and be like, "Cause I'm a cowboy."
Oh yeah.
Song,
and
Dead
that
or
stuck.
Alive. Never hit. I met the guy, Rated Gaming Cyborg. I said, everybody calls him Rated Gaming Cyborg. I don't call myself the gaming cowboy, but I wear a cowboy hat. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start to throw the cowboy out there. And then I would start to use emojis. And then it kind of grew. And then people would call me Cowboy. And like I said, all my friends, they'll never call me Cowboy because that wasn't a thing. But in this world, people start calling me Cowboy. And I just start saying, okay, cool. I'll if you call me Cowboy, I'm going to turn my head. Oh, you talking to me? And so it stuck. And so much so that my channel was always "And Now Your Mama Knows." It was just like a saying, right? And now your mama knows. Like, oh, you're like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, and now your mama knows. So it was a thing I came up with back in the day. So and I don't even really use it like that, which I should because it's marketing. But that was the name of the channel forever. And so I met this guy probably 2 years ago, King Thrash. He has a super big channel, not super big, but in our little community, his channel is pretty big, doing good. He actually is having last year he did his own gaming game awards. He's doing it again, and I was able to be in it last year. And today, before your thing, I actually recorded a little piece, so I'll be in it again. He hit me up. But anyway, last year he said to me, he said, dude, you're gonna be in the game awards. I appreciate it. I said, yeah. He said, I need you to do one last thing. You gotta change the name of your channel. I thought he was joking. I was like, man, get the hell out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna name it Your Dad, something stupid. And he was like, no, for real, bro. Every time people ask me, like, what's this channel? How you find the cowboy guy? And he's like, it's "And Now Your Mama Knows." They're like, what the hell does that mean? So I was like, okay, I guess I get it. So that's when I decided to make it. And I used to like wrestling. I used to be like, oh, I'm the master of vlogging. I'm the this, I'm the that, I'm the all-purpose champ. I'm the king of content. So I started calling it Cowboy King of Content. And then Lion, who you probably talked to before, he was getting mad at me at FCAT one day. It's like, oh, you guys keep coming up these topics and there's no validity to them. You guys don't do research. I'm like, bro, it's just a conversation. When you call yourself the king of content, you don't fact check nothing. I said, you know what? And somebody said to me, you should be the king of everything entertainment, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? If I make it Cowboy King of Entertainment, then it's just entertainment. People can't be
That's
mad
it.
if I'm on here being silly, stupid, doing
If
spin
you ain't
kicks.
entertained, watch another channel.
Thank you. So long story short, sorry for that long drawn out thing, but I kind of
No, you
wanted
good.
to. It's cool because I haven't explained that in a long time, and a lot of people watching probably didn't know that story. So you kind of pulled it out of me to be able to kind of, walk it through. But anyway, yeah, man. But energy, thank you so much for being the first guest of 2024.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And you know what's cool? I forgot who said it, but somebody said it to me. You should interview Energy, and I was like, dude, I should. He will be great. So and
Wasn't
you
that
were
during the
like,
New Year's
do
stream?
it.
Yeah, I popped in to say hey on the New Year's stream. Yeah, on the way to work. Yeah, you popped up the idea. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and we just made it happen. Like, not a
Yeah,
problem at all. So
yeah.
but that was pretty cool. Let me see what these guys are saying before we get out of here. Let me see. Do you only watch WWE? Sour Blow Active.
Most of the time, I just don't have time to watch much of anything else with work and other stuff going on. But I do like to check in on AEW from time to time. I do still have friends and like people I've bumped into before. Like I'm a big fan of Jericho and Sting. I can't not check in on them guys and see what's going on with them.
Right.
Um, you know,
And Hot Pockets were referring to the cave in. He said, honestly, it comes down to human instinct, is survival, and in the opportunity arises, most people would take each other out. Let me see. 503, aka Murder, said, had to go eat, but been listening. Great conversation, brothers. Thank you very much, man. We appreciate it. And you got to come up here too, man. Bio said, you suck, you suck. Talking about man,
Kurt
Kurt
Angle.
Angle. Let me see. No stupid than Hot Pocket sounds. Let me see. Chris Masters wasn't great in the ring at first, and when he got good, they just didn't push him. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But
And
again,
then
I like.
whenever he got hit with that wellness policy violation too, he took some time off and he came
come
back and he got off the steroids
and he lost.
and he had
50
toned down. And the first thing that happened was Triple H made fun of him for losing all that weight, even though he was healthier. Like,
I
yeah,
never forget that
I
backstage.
remember
Triple H
that.
was like, oh man, what
Yeah,
a
that was a dick
sabbatical
move
you
on him.
had, huh? 50 pounds lighter. I was like, oh man. Let me see. Chris Masters was in Puerto Rico recently. I don't know if he's signed to the promotion there, but I saw him and Dolph Ziggler. But he's with New Japan now. Yeah, so Chris Masters is cool. He actually, Carlito gave him credit for Carlito bulking up. He said him training with Chris Masters actually got him to really bulk up the way
And
he
man,
did.
Carlito got so big.
Yeah. He was too green when he got pushed. Yeah, I agree. But it was cool though. The funny cowboy, LOL. Oh, that's funny cowboy, LOL. I used to be called Wild West E. Wild for short. Oh man. Fox said, woohoo. But all right, guys, I got to read all the comments. Energy got to pull some personal stuff out for me, at least some of the background. I got to ask you everything I wanted. You got to actually throw some stuff in there that I left out. I think we literally, I mean, there's definitely, I mean, we could get into like what we think of outer space. And trust me, you and
Yeah.
I would definitely
Oh
be
yeah.
doing this again because there's a
I,
lot.
I know. I know. There's a conversation me and my wife have too. I'm probably gonna catch some heat if I don't at least ask you. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh man. So you know what's cool? You, me, you and your wife, and me and my wife, we might have to do like a podcast because my wife and I, we used to do the Sandy Anthony show, and that came up a lot. But funny enough, I would like to teleport. A lot of people want to fly, be super strong. Dude, it would be nothing cooler than go on my lunch break and just go to Florida real quick, take a swim, and then be like, oh, I got like 10 minutes to go back, and then just come back home and change. Like I
Yeah.
would like the movie Jumper, just Nightcrawler. Like yes,
Nightcrawler.
I would love that. Oh look, my wife just popped in. That's crazy. At the tail end. Saying hi,
Sandy.
Sandy Beaches is my wife, and she popped in to say hi. But yeah, definitely. Now, what about you?
I got to go with energy manipulation.
Ooh,
Gambit has always been one of my favorite
okay,
characters, and
okay.
just the way he can turn
The
turn
objects, like material.
just turn anything into kinetic energy. Like I always thought if you could expand on that, you could. There's so many possibilities. You could like teleport through electrical sockets. Uh, you could use sunlight to heal
Right.
people. Just manipulate energy. I
Dude,
think
that
that'd
would
be
be
kind of
wild.
cool.
So people are calling for it. Rain said, "Let me know when that podcast happens." So Sandy, telling Energy we need to do a couples podcast.
You know, she's
That would
down.
be that. She's down.
Yeah,
That would be cool, man. That would the four of us. We just had some great conversations just the other
yeah,
day. You know,
yeah. We
so
can talk food and superheroes all day.
yeah, for real, man. Anything else, man? I mean, listen, if we go another 15 minutes and make it an even 2:30, you know,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
cool
let's
with
do it.
that.
Yeah, guys, give me
Yeah.
a little
Well,
bit of bonus. So we go another
what
15.
else? What else can we talk about? What else? I mean,
Okay, so let me ask you this, man. This is one of them questions. Do you believe in ghosts?
I've seen too many things in my life to not believe that there's something more than what we can explain.
Okay.
You know. Uh,
So is that the
yeah.
same as aliens? Your thought process for aliens?
There's no way we're the only intelligent species in this entire. This whole universe wasn't made for us, and we can't even access a small percentage of it. Now, there's got to be something else out there.
Okay.
But I also believe that if they're smart enough to find us, they're not coming to have tea and crumpets with us. You know.
So I did picture ideal, and my wife, she actually said, she said, okay, sounds good. Um, okay, and then your wife said, I'll be a telepath. Nice.
Nice.
Hold up, let me go.
Yeah.
Let me
Oh,
see.
techno. She said technopath.
A
Uh,
technopath. Wait, what's a technopath?
Basically, cyborg or cable that they can
Got you.
access anything on the internet like that.
Got you.
They can
Oh,
control
okay. It's like you're driving in
electronics
your
and
car, you just make the light change green. Got you.
yeah.
Rain said, get him started on superheroes. He will be here for a little. Do you watch The Boys? Speaking of superheroes.
That's the one show that I really want to get into that I can't because I don't have Amazon Prime.
Dude, I might have to
But
just give you my account number.
right,
Uh, that is a superhero's dream mixed with reality. Like it's
yeah,
so crazy that it's like, what would it be like if superheroes were real in
I
like
know
our
the
day and age? You know, people
I
would
know
be
the
like,
first time I looked at it, I got a real I had a what's the name of the damn movie? Watchmen. I got a real Watchmen vibe off of it.
uh, Watchmen. I mean, I can kind of because Watchmen
Just
felt
because it's real gritty.
kind of real,
Yeah.
but this is more like gritty real. Like if you and I have
Mhm.
superheroes, then and it was real, and
Yeah.
you know we're on TV and stuff. Like they would have to come up with well, who's more popular, and then if that happens, you know, humans mess up everything. Then there's like cheating, and so it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
how
mean,
do you?
look at Homelander. What if Superman was raised without
Yeah.
Jonathan Kent's moral compass? Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite movies, and the year it came out was my favorite movie, Brightburn. Have you seen that?
Yes, that was a
Yes.
great movie.
That is what if Superman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, that was good.
What if he was out of control? Yeah.
Yeah. And my wife also said teleport. She said, I love the
Mhm.
boys. Let me see. Bio said, I heard that Monday Night Raw might get bought out by Amazon and won't be on
Hmm.
USA. It's possible. But that would be weird though if you got to go watch it on Amazon Prime. Actually, that would be
Yeah.
better for me because well, wait, does Prime have live stuff? I don't think Prime does, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, Dodgeman said, does Saiyan powers count?
Oh, they're totally superheroes.
Yeah. I mean, dude, wow, talk about really powerful. You know what some of my favorite powers are? My all-time favorite anime is Fist of the North Star.
Hmm.
I love their powers. How just like boom, they do the death touch, and then somebody's head swells and just explodes, and yeah, that's wild.
That's definitely a good one. I've always been a sucker for Death Note. That was a really good show.
Mr. Urban says, Sandy, I put you on all of these shows.
And
Uh,
Fairy Tale. If you haven't ever checked out Fairy Tale, that is such a great series.
What does that come on?
Uh, we watched it on, was it Hulu? But I want to say we started watching it on Hulu, but I got irritated because the first two seasons and like season 9 were English dubbed, and everything in between was subtitled. But then once we finished the series, I found out that there was another site that had everything subbed or
Oh
everything dubbed.
man.
I was like, man, and but it is crazy watching it because like certain characters will call it like one of the main characters, Lucy. She can summon the zodiac spirits,
Okay.
and the cancer one in the English dub calls her baby all the time. But in the Japanese in the subtitle, he always calls her shrimp. So like little stuff like that is it's cool to look at the difference between the.
Is Fairy Tale live action?
No, it's anime.
Oh, okay, it's anime. Okay, got you. Mr. Herbert said you want guinea pig so bad. Hey, here's a question. Do you have pets?
We have my daughter has a Chihuahua and my wife has a bearded dragon.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. My one daughter has a bearded dragon. But yeah, so we got the 2 guinea pig. Well, my wife has 2 guinea pigs. She has, I forgot how many fish she has, but a frog and some fish, and I got these fish which I didn't buy, but my daughter decided to move out and leave them. So I got adopted them. But yeah, and
gotta feed them.
we got our dog. All right, so favorite meal?
Red beans and rice.
Red beans and rice? Dude,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy? I just love beans. Like I'm not a meat guy, so like I could live like when we go to Popeyes, I'll get like a big red beans and rice. Like I just love red beans and rice. I love refried beans. Like when we went to Mexico for our honeymoon, I fell in love with refried beans. Like I love rice. Growing up, my grandma just made a lot of rice. Like rice was with everything. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually get excited around holidays because whenever like it's Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whenever we cook ham, my mom takes the ham bone and throws it in a pot of red beans. And so we know we know when we have ham for dinner that weekend we're having red beans. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
Mr. Urban was crazy. Hey, Mr. Urban, go buy yourself a guinea pig, man. It's all right. Just go buy one. Guys, wait till you see this video. My wife just bought the most epic. Matter of fact, here, I'll do a little bit of show and tell. All right, watch this. This is what I love. I'm going to show you guys this. All right, so hold on. All right, so let me pop in here. And bear with the echo for a little bit. All right, so let me turn this around. All right, guys, check this out. All right, so wait, I guess I gotta put myself on. All right, I'm gonna take myself off. And I'm gonna put myself on. And let me do this for the moment, energy. All right, so check this out, guys. You guys know me. I don't care if people can see my house. I'm always very open. I call this the penthouse. I got a video coming out, but look at this. My wife, and look at my dog. She's always staring at it. Look, Alexa, turn on second light. Guys, look at how big this cage is. It's 5 stories. Look, he's right there. Look at the water, the food, so they could climb in there like that. They are able to drink their water like that. They got chew toys, goes up. Look, he's in the little bin, and that's where they eat the hay. And then look, he's up there just relaxing. They got tunnels right there. They got a hammock right there. Yep, hold up, let's go down. They got a hammock on the bottom. And look, Josie is so intrigued with them. She wants to eat them, but But yeah, guys. So I want to show you that. Say hi to the people. Huh? All right, hold on, guys. I'm going back. I just want to do a little show and tell. All right.
You know, it's funny, the multi-tiered cage for the guinea pigs. We room's a little bit of a mess, but around three walls of our room, we got all these shelves built for all of our collectibles and stuff. A bunch of the wood that was left over, my wife's uncle made all of those shelves, so we took some of the spare wood and he made a tank for her bearded dragon, and it's a 3-tier. It's got
cool.
plexiglass slide. Yeah, he can climb up and down like hemp netting from one tier to the other. He mostly stays in the top one, but yeah, it's a 3-tier cage. He can just move all over. We wrapped 3 sides of it with chicken wire and put plexiglass in the front. So yeah,
that's cool. How about I missed my bowl of red beans?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to bring
still there.
Yeah, I was going to bring a pot to work, but something happened, and yeah, it didn't line up.
Do you decorate for Christmas?
We do. Matter of fact, our tree is still up.
Okay. I was curious.
Yeah, we don't go overboard with all the yard decorations and everything,
okay.
But yeah. But we always the daughter we had that passed away, her birthday was December 12th, so we always set the tree up on her birthday.
Okay, that's cool. If anyone wants to play some MK, me and Platinum about to go. Oh, you really?
Oh man,
I might have to jump in. I gotta figure out what I'm eating, but and they hot pockets. They're living the life, man. These little rodents in here, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I might jump in for a little bit. I'll jump in after this. You guys send me an invite. I'll play for a little bit. I know I gotta figure out what my wife and I are doing for dinner, but I'll at least play a couple rounds. I haven't played in forever, so you guys just get to kick me around.
I still got to finish up this season.
The
season's invasion.
What is it called? Romance. What is this one called?
Cryomancer.
Cryomancer.
Yeah. I've got about halfway through it.
Okay. I missed trying to do Natara's, and then I was like, man. I was like, the hell.
Yeah, I got basically everything I wanted to unlocked out of it, but I didn't focus. Like the first one, that Scorpion one, I unlocked everything, but
yeah, the Scorpion one, I went wild. I mean, it had a lot of a lot of
and a lot of people, a lot of the characters did have some really cool outfits, but with Natara's, like a lot of the outfits look good, but I was like, honestly, I'll never use that one for this character or this one for that. Like, I got the ones I thought looked really good for certain characters, and just said the hell with the rest of it.
Brain, definitely DM me, man. I love to share anything I'm doing. If you guys see me doing anything, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's from the X, right?
Yep. No, this is from 11.
11. Okay, yeah. If there's anything I'm using, you guys want to know, every so often I do a podcast about content creation with Red Giraffe. So but yeah, man, I love to share anything I have with anybody. So yeah, hit me up and I'll give you all the details you need to know.
This one's from X.
Yeah, he did start to climb it. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, we got this one day one pre-order bonus. It's dusty though. I need to clean it off. Man. We normally keep it right down underneath the TV. He's facing off with Batman. We got the Iron Throne in the background.
Okay.
It's like Batman and Scorpion are squaring off. Like, yeah.
So this is cool because now I might have to update my intro and add you in there, man. So I like to add the community into everything I do. And so if you guys see, I made so many iterations of my intro and outro. So make sure
that's the whole point of doing this, right? Just to network out and meet cool people, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, like dude, that's what it's about.
Oh yeah.
But all right, well, we are now about to hit that 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah.
So with that being said, guys, we're both gonna get out of here. I will play with Dodgeman and them in a little bit of Mortal Kombat. And but yeah, guys, I will be back tomorrow with We Wrestle Wednesdays. I got some work to do. I gotta do 2 thumbnails because last week's show got cut in half. And then Thursday, I will do the reality talk show. I got like so many stories, and so I'm like, I don't want to wait the next week. Like,
It's been
I got a lot of stories.
some crazy news popping off these last couple of weeks.
It is, man. So
Between
and
I saw you talk the other day about that guy flying over at the judge.
yeah,
That's
and
craziness.
yesterday, yesterday he came back in court.
Yeah, he had a
You know?
spit mask and
Yes.
shackles and everything else on.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I gotta
they chained
revisit
his ass
that.
down.
Yeah, I gotta revisit that. And I actually just found a story today where a father dived in the courtroom over a guy who killed his daughter, and he went flying higher than the other guy. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. So
I don't blame him at all for that one.
no, not at all. He's lucky. But yeah, the same judge that sentenced him. Yeah. So she decided she still wanted to talk to him in court. So that was deep. But oh, what is this? Well, hold on, guys. Show and tell.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, let's
look at that
go.
burger.
So this is what, cheeseburger? Oh man, where'd you get this from? From down the street? Oh yeah. Okay. Really? It's only $8? Oh, they running. They about to run McDonald's out of business.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that's just up the street. We could like walk there. Just to, Did they got dining inside? Oh, okay. That's
like a grocery, like
yeah. Fair enough. Well, thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, dinner is served, I guess. Cool. All right. Energy. Any last words, brother?
Whenever we do, oh yeah, my wife just reminded me of something too. We talked about some restaurants that we'd have to go to whenever you and Sandy get a chance to visit.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely cannot forget while y'all are down here.
Okay.
There's a creamery like a mile away from our house. They make their own homemade ice cream, and we
ice cream. So
we go there with our daughter every Tuesday.
we love ice cream. That's our thing. Like,
Every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and this is like my daughter and my wife are both lactose intolerant. In this place, they process their milk product, their dairy products, but they don't pasteurize it. So, I mean, my daughter has never had any kind of stomach issues or anything with their milks or ice creams. So, yeah, we make it a point once a week. We go to the creamery. And matter of fact, the last couple of parties we've loaded, like, we'll get water slides for the front yard.
Yeah.
And at some point during the day, we'll call the creamery up and say, hey, we got like 30 kids we're about to bring to you. And they're like, all right, come on. And we'll carpool all the kids over to the creamery and we'll go for an ice cream run.
Sanchez said, great show. Listen, it was only great because Energy was the guest.
Hey.
That's the thing. It was all around him, man. So it asking him questions. I knew it was going to be great. I knew he has done a lot of different things in life. So I just knew it was going to be cool. But what we left out was your current job and how you're always telling me you sometimes get little scuffles. Can we get into that real quick?
The wrestling does it does play into security a little bit. Yeah.
That's cool.
Especially
Energy does security, and every so often he has to, tackle somebody and put some of them moves to work.
Yeah, we get to have a little fun, and it benefits. Early on in my wrestling career, there was a guy named Mercury. He wrestled under the name Mercury McLeod. He was kind of training us and getting us ready to branch out away from that one promotion. And he brought in a couple of MMA guys, and we would train in the ring, and we would run drills where we would we would take what we learned from these MMA fighters and what we learned from pro wrestling and what he taught us with like little basic Greco-Roman, and he would pair us off in the ring. And the drill we would do is we would have a legit wrestling match, and if you could pin your opponent's shoulders to the mat for a 1 count, it was a point. If you could put your opponent into the ropes, it was a point. First 1 to 3 points wins. If you could make your opponent submit, it was an automatic 3 points. And those were really fun drills. So, and then they helped a lot with protecting yourself in the ring.
Yeah, it reminds me of point sparring. So when I got into martial arts, you had 2 minutes to land 3 clean hits, 3 clean hits. And so if you could do the face or you could not do the face, but it had to be, so but that was pretty cool. My wife just texted me and was like, we should watch Delete. So she's trying to stop me from playing some games. But Texas Roadhouse is one of my favorites, Rain. It has the best ribs out of all the ribs I ever had. I like to get the fall off the bone ribs. Let me see. The creamery is good. Let me see.
I found this while I was cleaning up earlier. I think my brother-in-law got it for me and my wife for Christmas one year. Who's this little gift card for Texas?
Loaded sweet potatoes. Oh man, amazing. Let me see.
Loaded baked potatoes all day.
From a long time ago. Let me see. My family owns an ice cream shop. LOL is called Chill. Oh, that's cool. Chillville.
Wait, who remembers me from a long time ago?
Small ice cream shop. Here's what's funny about ice cream. When I did kettle corn, and those videos are all on my channel. I did a bunch of years of selling kettle corn with me and my stepdad, and we went all over to street fairs, all type of festivals. The place that always, and these was like food events, so it was always food, right? The place that did the best was always ice cream. You would see the longest line, and people would stand there forever for ice cream. So,
good homemade ice cream. It's hard to beat.
It's hard to beat, man. Hard to beat.
And especially this place that I was just talking about, they also make their own like jellies and jams and salsas. They make their own homemade candles. Right. They'll have a cooler in the back where they put pies. They'll make pies. So they've always got stuff in there that like I love going in that place.
That's cool. All right, guys. Well, that is really gonna be it. Energy, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, brother. Of course, we'll be rocking tomorrow. We got each other phone number. We can talk text as we do anyway. And I can't thank you enough for coming on here. This is really cool. It meant a lot for me. Just kicking off the new year, man, with a really cool guy, really good guy. You're a family man, stand-up guy. I just from the moment you started hanging, it's just been great for me. Just liked you since day one, man. And so.
And I've been having a great time too, man. Especially the We Wrestle Wednesdays gives me something to look forward to once a week. So it's like because we don't get out of the house very much, and I'm kind of a social butterfly. I really like hanging out with people, getting to know people, and that I love the Wrestle Wednesdays, man. It's gotten me amped up about a few things.
We'll be doing it tomorrow because you got some belts that I need to put around my waist. So
you ain't. I'm hell bent on holding on to at least one of them.
Oh, I know you. I love when you say that, but I'm coming for them. And remember, it's still.
There's one that keeps eluding me, though. One that keeps flipping eluding me is that damn hardcore belt.
It's still the almighty era. Don't you forget it. Oh, and tomorrow is GM Day.
GM Day. Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
So
I had an idea I should have wrote down.
I'm gonna put my thinking hat on tonight because I want to come up with something really cool.
Yeah.
So,
especially if we can get 8 people like we did last week.
Yeah.
There's something I really want to do. I'm hoping we get a chance to do it.
Nice. But all right, guys, have a good night. Watch the outro. It's pretty cool. So many people I met, I threw them in my outro. I mean, you name it. I tried to really think of, good moments I had and put it in the outro. I must have made 30 different versions of that. I always add different people. And so it keeps growing and I keep extending the song. It's really cool. Somebody actually made that song for me.
I really like that song.
That was really cool. So that's like my
every time it pops up, I'm like,
Yeah, man, it is a good story with that, but I'll get into it at some point. I know the first edition he made for me. My wife listened to it, said, "No, and you gotta make that harder than that." Nah, Anthony, and it was like all mile. I was like, "Yeah, nah, I gotta rock out." But all right. With that being said, guys, you take care. I'm the Cowboy, King of Entertainment. This was Energy Crisis, and we are gonna be out of here. See you guys tomorrow. And with that being said, and now your mama knows.
I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man!
And now your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon!